movies and gaming reviews to movie and gaming news to anime, comic books, and anything else I feel like yapping about. Episodes drop weekly. Yeah, I was just there's a lot to get into this week. So I honestly just forgot to do the intro. But like I said, big week, fellas and fellettes. This week, so on the trailers, like I said, we got the Penguin trailer to get into. That's gonna be actually I have some things, mixed feelings. Not we'll get into it. But along with that, the Star Wars Acolyte trailer, the Alien Romulus trailer, which is something is it's interested. I'm interested on the horizon. I don't know what I was. Hero gameplay showcase. So Tech Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 4. If you know, you know. Really excited for this. A lot of people are, but this is the most gameplay that we've seen so far, and really breakdown of the combat so far. So that's looks super great. Can't wait to get into that. And on the gaming side of things, GTA 6 seems to be falling behind on development, possibly leading to a delay. So yeah, that could happen. And the main topic for this week is a review of a Late Night with the Devil. Spoiler alert, not really. I enjoyed it, but there is some AI controversy, but we'll get into it. But like I said, time codes below to jump around to whatever piece of news you want to, or straight to the main topic. But let's just get straight into it. Oh, what did I miss last week? I don't know why I rolled my tongue there, but we were talking about. I was talking about a Teen Titans movie. It got announced to be in development? I don't. Who did that get announced by? Was that like James Gunn himself, or was that just like a executive or someone, or was it a writer? Because I know who's writing the person who the lady who's writing Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, or already written is working on Teen Titans. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what I read last week. But I was speculating who's going to be on the team and whatnot. I didn't even talk about the villains. What villains, bro? The Titans villains. So obviously, OG cartoon 03 Slade, first candidate. And then you have Joe Mangiello or someone, or that's I think that's his last name. He's been wanting to come back as Slade, and I think he can still do it. And he had a pretty cool look in what movie was that? Was that the end of Justice League? That he popped up in a post credit scene on Lex Luthor's boat. I think that was Justice League. I think the original cut of it. Yeah, but I'm thinking about that look in my head, and it is cool for the Snyderverse, but obviously we haven't seen anything of the James Gunn's universe. But I don't think that would, of course, I get this is like something dumb to say because, like I just said, we haven't seen anything, but it doesn't seem like it fits that. Like if it seems like a Snyderverse look, if that makes sense. And still like saying, I guess comparing it to like something that we've already seen in his universe, like the Suicide Squad and the costumes. Like I don't think it's a bad costume, but I don't think it really meshes well. What I'm basically saying is it needs to be more sleek, I guess. I would prefer a sleeker look, like a yeah. I don't know what I'm really trying to say, but I'm pretty sure in his OG Teen Titans like look, or like his one of his let's look him up outfits. I'm gonna try to not get too sidetracked because we got a lot to get into. I'm not trying to have a fucking hella long show. Um, Deathstroke. Yeah, he has like a more skin tight suit, more slimmer look, and yeah, the Snyderverse one was like more military style, which it's a cool look. It looks fire. Like I said, it's like really Snyderverse. But yeah, and then obviously like Slade, and then you have like Gizmo and stuff. And so is Gizmo an adult? Obviously, he was like a kid and stuff in like their little group. What are they called? There's um the Bee Girl, and there's like Jinx, and then there's the like Hulk or Hulk character ish. Not really, but super. He's big and strong and whatnot. And then there's Gizmo, and then when Gizmo showed up in the Suicide Squad, I thought he was gonna be a kid in the game. Killed the Justice League. I thought he was gonna be a kid, but he was like an old man. Which yeah. So are they? What are the real ages on those characters? Are most of them like still younger, like the B girl and Jinx? Or are they like adults? I'm not sure, but you could throw those guys in the mix. But yeah, I just didn't really touch on the villains at all. And then also I was talking about your Love's Lies Bleeding, the review for last week, and I said there's like a perspective trick with the camera, and I don't think that was the case. Without getting into spoilers, I think the character was just like big as fuck in the room, and it just and I didn't know what was happening yet, in like correlation to the ending of the movie and like what they were going for. So I probably missed that at that point of the movie. But yeah, it wasn't some fucking. I just wanted to clarify because it wasn't some. Oh my god, like I just saw this fucking cool camera trick or something. I guess I was talking about stuff I don't understand. I don't know, but yeah, that was just funny. But yeah, let's just get straight into the news though. Straight with like the Marvel stuff, Disney Marvel stuff. So Marvel Studios exec Brad Winderbaum, he's been in a lot of interviews and stuff because X-Men 97 just dropped and it seems to be a lot of people are liking it. But he says so. This is about the beginning of Disney Plus and the shows and whatnot. So he says there was a mandate to kind of create as much as we could for Disney Plus as quickly as we could. And then I was reading like another article or something, and he was like, what was he saying? He was saying that like this was their chance like to not test, but just throw a lot of Marvel like ideas and projects at the wall, like guys, and just it attributes to like as much as they create. And so that's why we got like stuff like fucking the Agatha show. And I'm not saying like, I'm not even saying it's not out yet, so I can't say it's good or bad, but it's out of all the stuff you could make in the universe and the Marvel characters, like why are you making an Agatha show? And again, if that's like your favorite character, not again, but if that's like your favorite character, my fault, I guess. But I feel like a whole show about her, like she could be in like a somewhere in a Wanda show, because doesn't she like train Wanda on her like which side of her powers anyway? And so I don't know. I feel like, and again, this just like goes in with like the structure of stuff and like the stuff I was talking about like last week, and I'll get more into this with this next piece of news. But just like why is Miss Marvel the most characterized out of all of the out of the two other characters in the Marvels? Like why is that the case? And Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, got introduced in 2018. Of course, you have the pandemic and stuff and whatnot, but she's had time to cook with and get character development and whatnot, but they just didn't take that chance. Monica Rambeau was introduced in WandaVision. And she, if they they're making the story, so it's like they could structure any way they want, and so it's like, if they really wanted to, if this was their plan to just go straight into the Marvels, why not try to intertwine like Captain Rambeau's story with Miss Marvel's and like have them, be a duo show or something? I don't know. Just like like with the structure is just confusing, and this just like speaks to that and whatnot. And so it's just it's a mess. It's a mess. And then I was gonna say something about like, that's why this like quality control is coming in, and why they're turning, and I think wrongly, like it's rightfully so and wrongly so, but as they're turning their focus to guaranteed hits, like you're gonna get you're gonna get your Deadpools, you're gonna get your I don't know what is a guaranteed hit in the Marvelverse right now, like wow, is it that? Am I having a brain fart? Is it that up in the air? I'm saying like if they made a movie, what was obviously like Spider-Man, but like what is a guaranteed hit? Let's look at some Marvel movies real quick. Or like a Captain America's like in a blender right now, but like they said they're not doing their Captain Marvel 4 or Ant-Man 4 or whatnot, which they this next piece of news will get into why those like Ant-Man 3 didn't work out and the Marvels didn't work out and whatnot. But and we'll get into it. But this next piece of news though, Anthony Mackie is disappointed that Captain America: Brave New World won't include Sebastian Stan and Daniel Bruhl. When they decided to go back to the movies, it is what it is. But I don't have my friends anymore, so it kind of dampens it a little bit. That was a quote from Anthony Mackie. Um, so this, I think I mentioned it before, and how it I mean, it is what it is. Like, it doesn't suck, but it's weird that all of the stuff that I'm excited for Captain America 4 are stuff unrelated to Captain America. Like, I'm trying to see the Red Hulk in action. I'm trying to see the leader, what he looks like on screen. I'm trying to, who else was rumored for this movie? Were there any other Hulk characters? I'm not sure, but those are the things I want to see and what I'm going to this movie for. And it's like not anything to do with Captain America stuff. And then them and Sebastian Stan Bucky not being in the movie. That's who, if you don't know, Sebastian Stan plays Bucky, and Daniel Bruhall plays Zemo, the villain in Civil War, and he came back in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't think he's necessarily comic accurate. I don't know a lot about him in the comics, but from what I've read and seen various things online, I don't think he's necessarily comic accurate, but I think he's a good fit for the MCU. Whether that would have been a better use if he played a different character, or whatever. I don't know, but I like him in the movies. But them not being in the movie, and more specifically Bucky, it just like, again, the structure. Like, why are you taking away these characters from the things that like we've grown to like about them and the connections they've made? Like, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan Bucky and what the fuck is his name in verse? Sam Wilson. Their connection we made, that's a good connection. Like, that's good back and forth banter. I like how they get along. I like their bickering. I like their when they agree on stuff and come together and work towards a problem and whatnot. Like the stuff we seen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, that's a good connection. Why would you take him away from that? Why are you taking him away from? And again, I haven't seen this movie. I was gonna say take one away from Super Soldier stuff, Super Soldier Serum stuff, and I guess Captain America. I don't know a lot of Captain America stories. I guess it doesn't. It's kind of redundant to keep revolving it around that. But I'm pretty sure we're getting the leader and whatnot. So this might be some secret. They're trying to still perfect the serum or something. But I don't know. It's just, again, it speaks to, again, when going back to why Ant-Man 3 and stuff. I mentioned this last week, I'm pretty sure, why Ant-Man 3 and the Marvels didn't do well. Like, why are you taking Ant-Man away from his cast of characters? I'm going to say why they're doing this. Why are you taking away Ant-Man from the cast of characters that made him great? Why are you doing these? Like, why are you taking him away from all his gimmicks that make him fun to watch on screen, all his shrinking gimmicks and whatnot, perspective changes and whatnot? Like, why are you taking all that away from him? Like, you're taking away these characters from the stuff that like make them fun. And these, I think that problem affected Ant-Man and I was gonna say the Marvels, but that's more of a structure problem. Like, why didn't you do more in between? But anyways, they did this. They're doing this because they're setting up other stuff with these movies and not making them sequels to the projects that came before them. And that's really apparent with Doctor Strange. The Multiverse of Madness, like, they just skip over all the stuff they were setting up with the first movie and made it a sequel to the multiversal. If you watch my YouTube channel, you're gonna hear these points because these are from a script that I'm writing. But it's like they're taking away these points, or they're taking away these characters to set up these. I lost my train of thought. They're taking these sequels that set up. That were supposed to, be from the setup of the first movie, and they're making them sequels to not the first movie. This was a roundabout way, but I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I was getting back on track. But they're making them sequels into the phase itself, the multiversal phase, and not the first movie, which is apparent with Doctor Strange. They just skip over the Mordo stuff and just go right over it and like really offhandedly mention it, and they kind of, I guess, play with it a little because Mordo's evil in the other universe, and it just seemed like he was a friend. And they mentioned, oh yeah, Mordo, yeah, he tried to kill me a couple times like throughout the years, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, that was the whole post-credit scene of the first movie. And then like you have Ant-Man 3, it's like you take him out of the real world where his shrinking would be interesting, and you put him in the fucking quantum realm to goddamn set up Kang. Like, how does that make sense? So it's just like, bro, they're trying to do too much. But anyways, yeah, that's that on that. Like I'm making a whole video and on Marvel, the current MCU problems, and some of those talking points will be in it. Yeah, that was kind of. I'm trying to really stay on track for time though, because we do got a lot to get into. So on to the next piece of news. So there's an animated Black Panther show, kind of dealing with like the I don't know if it is the start of the Doraj Mal Dor I don't know how to pronounce their group, but it's the all female warrior group in the Royal Guard in Black Panther in the MC or in the comics too. But yeah, in the Marvel verse, but they're making a Eyes of Wakanda. It's called Eyes of Wakanda. Show, animated show. Uh, Dealing with them and some earlier Black Panthers, and this will be connected to the MCU, so it's officially MCU canon. Um, which I'm okay. So with this, I think it's gonna have the what if art style, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it looks good. I feel like when it's in motion and stuff, when the action's like going and they're doing crazy stuff, it looks good in that sense. But just overall, I don't really like it a lot. I don't really think it's that appealing. But and I think that's what the animation is going to be, the art style and stuff is going to be for Eyes of Wakanda. But like I said, in motion it looks good, and so if the storyline is like interesting, I can watch a whole show on with that animation. But this show, so like I said, this is gonna be MCU canon, and so why I put this in here because it's like again, if the with the introduction of the shows and like the amount of movies and stuff, it's making like the what am I trying to say? It's making the overall storyline hard for them to juggle, it seems like, and just to fit all the pieces together. And so with if along with the shows now, and if you make animated shows start being canon too, that's even more, and that's a lot. But I feel like if you use these animated shows, and not all of the animated shows should be canon to the MCU, and they shouldn't be in the same art style as of art style Eyes of Wakanda, and I hope they kind of get that with X-Men 97 being a success and whatnot. But oh, I didn't even put X-Men 97 in the what's it called in the intro, but whatever. Anyways, but if they use these some animated shows and make them MCU canon, I feel like there's a good way to play with and make them worthwhile if you kind of do stuff in the past and kind of flesh that out more. Maybe make a animated show. I don't know if this is interesting enough, but this is just an idea. But an animated show with the past Ant-Man and some of his adventures, Hank Pym, some what's it called 10 rings stuff with Wenwu, and have him like using the 10 rings and whatnot. His structure of what is his fucking the Mandarin? No, that's his name. What is his his name's the Mandarin. His organization is 10 rings, but the formation or something with those, and like how far that links back. Some space stuff. You could go way back millennia with Thor stuff, and so I feel like there's a vast. Oh, and then I was gonna say Iron Fist stuff too. Show past Iron Fist. Past Moon Knight avatars. Like there's a lot to play with in the past, and I feel like that doesn't necessarily break. I mean, it depends how you write it, of course, but that doesn't necessarily have to break canon or be so grounded in canon, because like obviously if you make stuff in the current timeline where stuff is currently happening, like you have to be a lot more careful what you're writing and setting up and stuff. Of course, same thing with the past stuff, but it's like I feel like you're a lot more restricted and you're playing with a lot more rules and stuff and who's introduced and whatnot. And again, it's the same for stuff in the past, but I feel like it's a lot more less strict. But yeah, I feel like it would be cool to see the Moon Knight idea and the Iron Fist idea is really really interesting. So it's just like seeing past. I guess that like stems off from seeing past like Black Panthers and stuff. Like we could do something like that. That'd be cool. But next piece of news though. So this is a rumor. These next two pieces of news are rumors, This one is a little. If it is true, let's just get into it. Deadpool and Wolverine will introduce a new multiverse concept that in every universe there's a chosen hero, and if that hero dies or gets removed from their universe, that universe dies. This would line up with the old rumors that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the chosen one of the MCU. This is from Daniel Richmond. I don't think that last part was necessarily from him, but there were old rumors of Holland being like the leader in front, like leader of one of the Avenger movies, and like being the chosen one. And we didn't, when that rumor was floating around, I don't think really anyone knew what that meant. Like, a key player in the universe. But um, if this does pair with that rumor, this goes into that. And so this is interesting. Okay, for one, I think this is a dumb idea. Like, why would you? That I feel like that just restricts what, unless it's okay. I'm gonna get into it, but unless like it's a character that it makes sense for, like this really restricts what you can do for the character. Like it, in this case, it's Spider-Man. So what are you saying? Spider-Man can't die in this universe? Like, all the stakes are off the table. Like, is that what you're like saying? If this is true, because I know Galactus is this is like that's like his thing though, right? Not like on a multiverse level, I don't think. But if Galactus dies, like the universe dies, like he's like from the previous universe before, some shit like that, some cosmic space shit, yada yada yada. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if Galactus, and that's why he's such a hard threat to deal with, because you can't just kill him, and it's insanely hard to kill him. So there's that, but you can't just kill him, because then if you kill him, the universe collapses. But he's just going around eating planets, so it's kind of you got to deal with that somehow. So it's like, yeah, if it's Galactus is that being, then yeah, I guess. But it's just like, why do this? What is the reasoning for this? Like, what do we need more multiversal rules? Like, it's already pretty loose and fast, right? I just don't see the value in this unless there's like a good reasoning. I just really can't come up with anything in my head. And then also, though, I was talking about, I don't know if I talked about it on here or if I was just writing a script. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on here. But Marvel or the MCU, I'm for in my head, it is a bad idea to try to make Spider-Man a linchpin of the Marvel MCU universe. I was like saying TT, but anyways, what's it called? Because if you do, and if I feel like that would have already been the case, I guess he's pretty prevalent. But if you do this, don't you give like, doesn't Disney Marvel give Sony kind of all the bargaining power? Because you have this character that you built up and he's the main figure in your universe. If I guess this comes down to negotiation, then if contracts come up, like expire, like they're coming up or whatever, if you don't do this, I don't know what a demand from them would be. Maybe use one of their characters in one of their Sony movies or whatever. I don't know. If you don't do this demand, we'll pull Tom Holland from the universe and go do our own shit. I mean, is that not what would happen? Like, am I confused? But then also, when I was thinking about this point, I thought about another point. If they are doing this, like in a way to like, if they are gonna make Spider-Man, and Sony owns Spider-Man. I forgot to say that if you didn't know that, and that's what makes this a huge problem. If they were to do this and just make, and really lean into Spider-Man in the MCU and make him the leading figure, are they doing that so that this is the only Spider-Man that people would want to see, and so that Sony couldn't even do a Spider-Man thing without Marvel? Is that the case? Is that their angle? Because then the Sony versus shit. Sorry if you like the movies. It's dog shit. Sorry. I mean, you could have fun, of course, but they're shit. Um, but yeah. So it's just like, are they trying to like kill the Sonyverse and just make theirs the standing Spider-Man thing, and maybe position themselves into buying the rights from Spider-Man, at least the movie rights? Wait, do Sony only own the movie rights? Hold on, because Marvel, Disney own the merchandising. Who owns the game rights? That's what I'm confused of. Is it Disney still? So what's the deal with Insomniac and stuff? I honestly don't know. Wow, that's kind of confusing. Hold on, actually, let's look that up real quick. Who owns the Spider-Man game rights? Let's see. Oh, it's a popular question. It seems like Marvel Games entered negotiations with SIE regarding developing third-party games based on their character, leading to frequent collaborative studio Insomniac Games being selected to acquire the license for the Spider-Man character from Activision in 2014. So it says Marvel's games, so I'm gonna assume it's Disney still. Hold on, what? I don't know, brother. Confusing stuff. So yeah, it seems if this rumor's true, it's weird play, and I hope it doesn't like kind of blow up in their face because I like MCU Spider-Man, and I think they should build him up to be a leading figure. But it's like if they build him up into being a leading figure, and this just gets pulled from under the rug, from under our feet, that's just gonna suck really bad. Um, so yeah, it's kind of a weird sitch. I mean, I think they should just. I mean, Marvel has or Disney, I guess has all the. I feel like uh there's a what's it called? There's value in having a cinematic universe for sure and having the rights to all your characters, but there's also value in having a lot of people being able to do things with the characters. You can get. I guess that this leads. I feel like that would lead to oversaturation, right? I guess. I was gonna say it could just lead to a lot of interesting things, but I guess in the same way it could lead to a lot of non-interesting ass things. So yeah, there's that. But let's move on. So another rumor. So this is very interesting. Seth Rogan will be reportedly writing and producing the Sony R-rated animated Venom project. This is from Can We Get Toast? So yeah, take both these rumors, the Deadpool stuff and whatever, timeline, multiversal, key figure, and this with a grain of salt. But if this is so, I saw someone on Twitter was like, this could either be very good or very bad. I'm leaning to very good. I feel like it would be bad in the way of disrespecting like the lore of Venom, I guess. But I mean, Seth Rogen, of course, not everyone's perfect, but I feel like he has a pretty good track record with comic book stuff. Am I right? You have Preacher, which I didn't personally watch, but a lot of people seem to enjoy. I was reading the comic and I was really enjoying it. I got to pick back up. I just like stopped. But yeah, I was really enjoying it. But you have Preacher. You have he's like executive like produced and he maybe wrote on some of these things, but Preacher, The Boys, Invincible, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, which I really enjoyed, and all those things I really enjoyed. Besides the Preacher, which I didn't see, but all those things are top, at least in my opinion, top comic book stuff right there. So him getting his hands on a R-rated Venom project, that could be fun as shit. Not gonna lie to you, and it's like if he does get into it, I feel like he would lean into more, which I don't think is really it's not prevalent in a lot of Venom stuff, but more of his comedic side. And I just feel like oh wow, this popped in my head, but whether it looks like Mutant Mayhem or Spider Verse or not, just a like Lethal Protector, semi like comedic like Venom, gory Venom movie, animated movie. I feel like that'd be really fun. Like he's like kind of cracking corny ass fucking jokes. I guess the Venom movies did kind of lean into that. Let me not say that. But I don't think he's that comedic, but he be saying some funny stuff, and I feel like that could be really fun. A really fun movie though. Like just he's going around just being the Lethal Protector, and maybe he's just like this was. I'm not sure of like Venom's early history into like the Lethal Protector and how he like starts off into that, but whether it goes like it could be like when he's just first starting out and just like the what's it called, the drastic just comparison of how he deals with like his villains and compared to like how Spider-Man deals with them and whatnot. And it's like a lot more. Oh, they're tied up waiting for the cops, and like you get to a Venom crime scene. It's like fucking a horror scene, guts and fucking blood everywhere, heads bitten off and whatnot. And like Venom's just like all in a day's work type shit. Is happy about that and what I could see. There's something there. There's something there. Honestly, I really just talked myself into that, and I still feel like it could be really really fun. So hopefully this is true, and we get some more stuff on that. So on to some DC news. No, really DC, no I guess no DCU news at all this week, which is a little sad. I love DCU news, but this is about Joker 2, and this might. So I feel like it's pretty hard confirmed now that it's a musical. And if you haven't been listening, I am personally not a fan of musicals. Just not my jam, man. Out of all ways to consume a story, why would I want people singing it to me? I don't know. That's just maybe, I guess it's not just me, but a lot of people seem to like musicals. I guess that's like the original form of entertainment, right? Like musicals and plays and shit. Cool. Anyways, but so yeah, it's pretty hard to confirm that Joker 2 is a musical, which I was not really jazzed for. So Joker 2 is reportedly mostly, so this could save it for me though, this piece of news. Joker 2 is reportedly mostly a musical and features at least 15 cover songs. And then along with that, Hilder's, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this last name, so we'll say Hilder G, is said to infuse her distinctive haunting music cues into each number. So I looked this person up, and they did the score, if I'm not mistaken, actually. I said I looked this up, and I immediately forgot. Because I'm pretty sure she did the score for the first movie, but I feel like maybe I think she just did the soundtrack. Hold on, brother. Oh no, it was her. The record consists of 17 tracks from a film score written and composed by Hilder G, which received critical. Okay, yeah, so she did do the score. So anyways, how this would save it for me though, if like I said, because before I didn't think this was gonna be a straight up musical where there's gonna, I mean, though they will, but like not necessarily like just jump into like a crazy huge song and dance number, and super, what's it called? What was the word? Like it sounds great, like the harmony and stuff is like perfect. I feel like this is gonna be like, I said this before, it's gonna be like a spin on like their version on it, and it's like they're gonna be in their heads, and it's gonna be very like personal to them, if that makes sense. Like their flair on it, basically. And this, I feel like, kind of confirms that thought, because she's gonna, and with it sounds like within the cover songs, it's gonna be, which the score of the first movie I liked a lot. That's one of my favorite scores, no cap. It's gonna be inserted in. I feel like that I'm not conveying this thought properly, but I feel like there could be something very like cool there, and so this could possibly save this for me. I don't think I was gonna like completely like dislike this movie. It just going into it, hearing it's a musical is just not my cup of tea. I feel like they told a great. What's also, oh wow, that it being a musical, I feel like I didn't even really consider it to be, but with that balloon the budget so much. I was gonna say like big set pieces and stuff, and I just didn't. I just said they're not gonna break out into a huge song and dance, but I don't know, bro. Like there's a lot remains to be seen, but this piece of news could possibly save this for me, which I guess is cool. I guess save. I guess I said I guess like fucking 5 times, but I don't think that's really the right word. But it's more promising in a way, I guess. All right, let's get into some trailers, man. Let's get into some freaking trailers. So let's talk about this Acolyte trailer. So hold on, before I get into this, apparently like the person, and I was reading about this like literally this morning, or when I was putting together the show notes, but the creator for this is, what's it called? The creator for this is I guess Harvey Weinstein's assistant for like a year. I don't know. I was like reading into it, and a lot of people were like saying, "Oh, it was like she just not saying anything and watch stuff go on and whatnot. And so there's like some slight controversy with that with this show. And honestly, I honestly don't fucking know because she could have easily been a victim as well. But yeah, and I guess she like wrote a play. There's a lot of stuff in that. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, and it's just I guess it's been known for a while, so I don't know even if this will even develop any further. So I guess if I find anything, but anyways, let's get into this. So Star Wars Acolyte, Jesus. All right, Star Wars, my boy, my boy, my boy. Where you at right now? Where you at right now? So this show, I was excited for it. This was like one of the few shows that like they announced. Like there was like a Skull and Bones, and it was not Skull and Bones, but it was like Skeleton Crew, and it was uh, like Kitty Adventures or something like more akin to the Goonies and whatnot. Which doesn't sound necessarily bad, but it's just like it's just with the track record right now. Like bro, I didn't even finish Ahsoka, and the only reason I was watching that show was because of the Anakin stuff. And I honestly stopped right when she first got to that place or wherever, and had that first little battle with him. And then the next episode or two goes into the Clone Wars stuff, and I didn't even watch those, bro. And I was literally watching it just for that. It's just like Star Wars. I love Star Wars, bro. It doesn't have a hold right now on me. It's just so just from production quality, just from the look of it, looks cheap as fuck. It looks ugly. Like the writing shit, like it just isn't appealing right now. But I love the Star Wars universe. I love the world. I love the world that it's built over time, and just all the intricacies and whatnot. And so I will always like give Star Wars a fair shake and whatnot. But it's like after feeling that like dip in quality, and it's really after, and it started with the sequel series in a way. Like of course it started with the sequel series because that's when Star Wars was being brought back to the big screen and whatnot, and really leads into the Disney Plus and whatnot. But it started off fairly quality wise. It was fairly strong. Like say what you will about each the problems get worse as they go along. The first Force Awakens is just a retread of the New Hope, and it's a lot of ideas from a second Death Star. Like come on, bro. Like it isn't really groundbreaking, but I feel like from a production standpoint and whatnot, and a reintroduction into bringing Star Wars back, I feel like it's great. And then from and it sets up a lot of good things that later movies don't capitalize on, which where am I even going with this point? Star Wars is just in the gutter right now, bro. Mandalorian season 3's ass. Ahsoka's mid. Like, come on, bro. It's in the gutter. It doesn't really have my attention, but this was one of those shows that I was very interested in because I was like, bro, we just need to get away from this where Star Wars is right now. Either go 100 years. This is 100 years before the Phantom Menace, but either go super far in the past or go super far in the future. Like, just get away from this timeline. Like, we're done with the Skywalkers. We're done with all this surrounding them, bro. Star Wars is much, much, much bigger than that. Like, you created a whole universe for a reason. Yes, we love these characters. Yes, these are cool characters. Yes, we know these characters, but let's build new connections with new characters in a different era of Star Wars. And seems like it's gonna be that. So, I really like this trailer. Well, it had a fire poster before the trailer came out. It's a Sith lightsaber, but the red blade is blood smeared on like the ground or whatever, and it's a really creative poster, and that got me jazzed up. But so this show though, actually, let me pull up the trailer. Let me make sure my computer's muted. It was not, not a rookie mistake. This cast, actually, let's get into the cast, because the cast is what is the era is a leading factor, but the cast is really good too. Let's see Star Wars, because Acolyte, I really love the cast members in it. So Daphne Keene, she played X-23 in. Is that how she played X-23 in Logan. And I really want to see her back in the MCU as actually X-23. I feel like that would work really well. Then it also has Ling Jung Jae. He was in Squid Games, and I really liked him a lot from that. And then as there's probably more great actresses, but just the ones that I personally know. But and then Carrie Ann Moss, she was what I know her in. She's in a bunch of things. I know she's. Let's see real quick. But from what I know, in the fucking Matrix is. Oh, that is her. Wow, I didn't even make that connection. That is her. But Matrix, and then what I know her from the most is Jessica Jones. She played a lawyer in there, and she showed up in other Netflix and Marvel shows too, not just Jessica Jones. She's in Space Jam: A New Legacy. Huh. The boy who smells like fish. All right, we're done looking at her movies, but yeah, she's great, and I really like her as an actress. So the cast was really interesting to me. So that was something to look forward going in for myself. But the show, how does it look? How does it look? Actually, let's look at some details before we talk about some trailers. So this is going to be 8 episodes, and so the creator says it's narratively similar to Andor. And actually, just reading some articles, she said that it was kind of the interviewer asked like, is this more like Mandalorian, or is this like more Andor? And she said it's like in the middle. Which honestly, if you look at the trailer, you kind of get that vibe. Like I feel like it kind of looks like the Mandalorian, but it could be like dealing with more serious things, I guess. And then she was like also saying it was more, there's a more through line narrative. And of course, there's that with the Mandalorian, but it's not like serialized. Is that the right word? More like episodic episodes, like this a bounty this episode and going to hear the next episode or whatever. But like I said, it's 100. I don't know if I said this, but it's 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So Yoda possibly has a chance to pop up in this show. He's like fucking 800 some years old. I don't really. I mean, it'd be cool to see him. I don't. What would he be doing during this time though? I don't know. I guess that would be cool to see if it's related to what's going on. Like if he's just somewhere fucking off, then I mean I wouldn't be mad seeing that, but it just wouldn't make sense. And why take away time when you could be doing some other stuff? And the show that actually deals with the show. Anyways, episodes are around 30 minutes, and this was pitched as a multi-season show, and also incorporates EU and Legends lore. So expanded universe, Legends stuff. A bunch of, if you don't know, a bunch of like, before Disney bought Lucasfilm, like, there's a bunch of just comics and books and what, I don't know necessarily comics, but like graphic novels and books and whatnot that were all canon and expanded the Star Wars lore by a lot. And, a lot of people got invested in that lore, and some really cool characters like Star Killer. He's like from expanded lore, I believe, or maybe he's just a created character. I don't know, but he's in that realm, and so, or would he be? I don't know, but they made it not. It gets really, I guess, convoluted. Maybe convoluted. I don't know, but it's massive. It's massive. It gets confusing and whatnot. So they made all of that not canon. So, and I was reading some stuff. This person seems to be a really big fan of Star Wars and is what am I trying to say? And the expanded stuff. And I seen like there's a character. So there's gonna be a new race of a species that's from expanded lore and that hasn't been seen in Star Wars yet, or I guess live action or whatever, and maybe animated because it's expanded universe stuff. But I think she has a lightsaber whip. It's called like a light whip, and I mean that speaks for itself. It's a fucking lightsaber whip. So if they do that, it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know necessarily cool. It's kind of goofy, but I got to see that in motion. But Star Wars in itself is goofy, so maybe it'll fit right in. But yeah, let's get into the trailer though. This is so a lot of there's some. Let me have a sip of water real quick before we get into it. What was it saying? Yeah, a lot of people saying that like this could break canon because the Jedi and Phantom Menace, they said that like the Sith had been not around for like a long time. Was it 1,000 years? That seems pretty long, but and no one's seen a Sith or whatever, and there was a red lightsaber igniting in the show, and they're saying the only way for this not to break canon is for all these Jedi to die. But I don't really know. it's cool. I guess this is like the High Republic era. I'm not sure, but one thing I know in this trailer though, they boxing, they throwing hands. It's hands. It seems like, and one thing I really didn't like take into account and what would fit really well with the Star Wars universe is that what's it called? They so this is kind of gonna be a hard point to convey if you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you are familiar with like older karate movies and honestly just older movies just that have like more floaty wire work, and so you like when someone makes like a big jump or whatever, and like now it could be really convincing. That seems like someone's actually like doing that jump, or but you know back then or something, if someone like did that and did like a flip, they would just be kind of look like they would be floating in the air a little bit, and just like kind of not good wire work. I think it's called. I thought Glenn Howerton was in this trailer, but it's someone else. But that kind of floatiness, I didn't even think of though, would fit so well with like Jedi combat, and like you kind of get that in the prequels and stuff. But they just do it in like the siege. And did they do it in? I gotta rewatch the OG trilogy because is there kind of that kind of wire work in those where it's just like they just do it digitally in the prequels and it just looks super fast and like it's not really floaty, but that would look so good with Jedi though because like they're using the Force to do that, and I feel like that floatiness would make sense. And there seems to be a little bit of that in this when characters like flips over another character. Let me see. And just I don't know, the wire work seems a little floaty, and I feel like that doesn't even look bad. It looks really fitting in my opinion. Let me see. Yeah. And there seems to be a lot more like hand to hand combat, which would make sense. Or I guess the creator said that like there are no Sith around at this time, really. There's no really battle droids to fight. So why would like the Jedi be igniting their lightsabers a lot? And so it's like, of course, they would more rely on the Force and Force combat because it seems like it's some really decent looking hand to hand combat. Honestly, wow. Yeah, she's like does this like cool hand to hand combat sequence, and then there's a Force push. And I guess Carrie Ann Moss would be pretty good at fight choreography, right? The Matrix stuff. But I guess this story it follows like a Jedi and a student, or I don't know what the story is what's going on here, but it has my attention for now. Like I said, I didn't finish Ahsoka, so Star Wars is kind of in the it's not really in a top spot for me. Like you get something like Dune, I really feel like I don't know. I it doesn't really, but it just adds. I was gonna say pushes the sci-fi envelope, but it's fucking great sci-fi. So it's just like that is some sci-fi that a lot of care went into, like from set design, writing, and from every aspect and every angle. And so of course it's an adaptation, so there's groundwork to build off of. It's not a completely original story, but regardless of the matter, that's good sci-fi. And Star Wars just has not been good sci-fi recently, and that's I guess what it boils down to. Like, bro, I like sci-fi. I like some good sci-fi. Like it's just been lackluster recently. Of course, you get Andor, which is some fucking great sci-fi. And Star Wars is in the gutter. So we'll see though. We'll see if we'll see if I review this, if it catches my attention, or if it holds my attention, I should say. We will see. That was probably very loud. Sorry. Let's see. Next trailer is the Penguin trailer. All right, so don't stone me to death. Don't stone me to death. But if this was not the Penguin, would this trailer be interesting? I don't think so. So they released a teaser before this, and it was kind of like it was a trailer and it was a behind the scenes thing. It was just to get people jazzed up. It was like it was like a behind the scenes stuff. And it was cut into the trailer. But being with me, the reason me saying that is that was way more interesting than this trailer. This just looks like a typical like gangster show that doesn't even seem particularly interesting. But with that being said though, and like me, so it's like if you're not invested in these characters in the universe, this could just look like something generic and just fly right over your head. But if you know what it's connected to and you like the Batman and stuff, this is, I feel like, gets people jazzed up. But I feel like this trailer itself is not particularly interesting. But I really like the stuff that I did see in it, though. I really, again, and like I am invested in this universe, so it does look good. But I'm saying, and me knowing the capabilities and the story capabilities and stuff. But I'm saying, just if I didn't know shit about this and I just watched this, I'd be like, all right, hey, whatever. But anyways, though, I just like really like the first trailer though. I really liked it a lot though, because it just had it was a bit more action heavy. Like there's not even a lot of action in this trailer, and I'm not even saying you need action in a trailer to make it compelling, but it just seems a lot. It seems a lot more going on, and this just seems super a low key trailer. The teaser seemed a lot more frenetic. Frenetic. I don't know if that's the right wording, but what's it called? But I like how we're getting glimpses of Cobblepot turning into. So why did he? So he's like walking with a brace in this, and that like I think gives him his hobble. Did we see him something in the Batman that made that be the case? Like did he get injured or something in that, or is that going to be in this? Honestly, I really don't remember, and I've seen that movie a couple times, so should pay him attention more. Pay attention more. But yeah, I don't really have like much to say. Cause like I said, there's not really like this is gonna be so a continuation right after the or not like right after, but after the Batman. So I think the city's a little still flooded, and whatnot. Oh, is he at the? Oh, so he's visiting the Iceberg Lounge. It's all run down and whatnot, and so he's gonna get that back up. But he's just really transforming into the Penguin, like we seeing him in Did we see him in like Penguin clothes? But he's getting that hobble though for sure, for sure. I wonder when he's gonna get the what is the one glasses thing called? Mono glass thing. The fuck, what is that called? Molecule? No. Molecule? No, that's a fucking like atom. Monocle. There we go. When he's gonna get the monocle? Is it gonna be like an official monocle, or is it gonna be like some shit? I really like the monocle in the Arkhamverse, where it's like a piece of glass like smashed into his face. It's pretty cool, like a bottom of a glass or something. I'm pretty sure it's like that. But and then we got a peek at Paul Dano as the Riddler. He's in jail in the Penguin's visiting him. I think someone is. Let me see. Yeah, someone's visiting him. I don't think it necessarily shows the Penguin, but pretty sure that's Paul Dano. No, I actually I don't know. I don't think that was Paul Dano. Damn. My fault. But yeah, I mean, I like the people in it. Colin Farrell. And then someone's playing Falcone's daughter. She's from other things, but what I know her from is How I Met Your Mother. She plays the actual mother. But I think she's a good actress though. She's in other. What is she in? She's in some other stuff too. But actually, let's look up the cast real quick. Been doing that, so let's keep that going. Cast. Oh, Tom Salvatore. Hold on. So he's playing. So not Tom. Clancy Brown is in this show. I didn't even mention. So that's actually gonna be cool. He says he plays Salvatore. And it's cut off. I'm not sure. But yeah. Christy Militoi. What is it? Miliotoi plays Sophia Falcone. So Falcone's daughter. That's gonna be interesting. Of course, Colin Farrell. But yeah, I thought that was Mr. Beast. But yeah, this trailer wasn't particularly interesting if you're not really invested in the character, though. But on to the next trailer. We are going for almost an hour. Jeez, we need to step it up because we still got we got like a couple more trailers. Dude, do I even want to do a review? That's gonna be a lot. Honestly, let's get to it. We'll see. What's the next trailer? Oh, Alien Romulus. So this hits theaters. Oh, the Penguin stuff. So I didn't even realize say that. So the Acolyte releases on Disney Plus June 4th, and matey. And then the Penguin releases later this year on Max. It didn't say I don't think it said a date for sure, but later this year, hopefully. And then this next trailer for Alien Romulus is in theaters August 16th. So, Alien. I'm interested in the Alien verse and like, the lore and whatnot, and I actually need to go watch the original movie. But I mean, I watched Prometheus when it like on fucking Comcast on demand, like when I was a teenager, and I remember liking it. I don't remember a whole bunch about it, but then I remember being, kind of excited for Alien Covenant. Is that the like most recent one? Let's see, Alien movies. And then it just didn't get a lot of good reviews, and or it wasn't really received well, so I just didn't really mm, bother to check it out. Maybe it's like at 6 right now. Um, Maybe I should go check it out, but I just didn't really hear a lot of good things from Alien fans, so I just didn't bother. But I've been always interested, and this looks very interesting. So this is from the director of Don't Breathe, which I don't remember that. I remember that movie a bit, but that movie just had really good tension and claustrophobic tension in that. And so this movie is basically kind of going back from what I've been seeing from Alien fans and them talking about it. This is kind of going back to the original movie, like stuck on a spaceship with an alien, and what that entails. No pun intended. So this seems very claustrophobic, very, and the sets seem really good too. I think the director made an emphasis on no green screen, and so I didn't even mention with. Oh, well, I'll go back to it, but with no green screen, so the sets looks really good. It seems very, very ugh. Oh, what the fuck? There's some freakoid stuff going on. Some people might get some pleasure out of that, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Honestly, this is all I need to see with this trailer. So yeah, I'm penciling that into my movie calendar. Definitely gonna review this. It just seems like very eerie vibes and very good visuals and whatnot. And it's bro, like I mentioned, bro, sci-fi is my jam, bro. I love me some good sci-fi, and this seems like a really dope sci-fi thing. And it's honestly, I need to go back and revisit the original Alien movie, since this seems like from what people are saying, a return to form to that. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. Not gonna lie, this definitely shot up to something I'm very anticipated for. And then what I was gonna say about visuals, though, I didn't mention the visuals in the Acolyte show, and they said they didn't use the volume at all. So, and I will say that the interiors and stuff look very good. Like it seems like they have some good sets, but there's some shoddy like CGI shots. Um and the thing is with the volume, though, the volume could look good. It's just it seems like people, and it's weird because I can obviously see it, and maybe it's more complicated. And it's I guess, way more less complicated looking at it from the outside in, but the volume just seems like it's good to use in dusk settings, like sunset and shit, at nighttime, um or gray cloudy areas and stuff. It doesn't seem to do well with desert, like with bright daytime stuff, and stuff like that. That's what I see. I don't know, it's just like the people are refusing to learn how to use it and just now writing it off. It seems like, because it was like a whole, like it was like a good thing that they said the volume wasn't used at all during filming of Acolyte, and people like praising it. But it's just like, bro, just learn how to use it, because it could be a very phenomenal tool. But yeah, that was that quickly on that. We got the first trailer for In a Violent Nature. So I talked about this movie a couple times. It's a horror movie shot from the perspective of the killer. This is in theaters May 31st. And so there was a first teaser. You really didn't see anything with that. And maybe I think brought up another teaser. Showed a little bit more, but this is an official trailer, and I think, yeah, this is pretty much all I need. So this is basically, I'm not a horror movie person at all. It's just when there's an interesting premise, like the movie that we'll be talking about reviewing later, I'm interested. Like, this is, so basically this could be something just really boring, or this could be something really interesting for the genre, I feel like, because this is what it is. It's following the killer the whole time. And from the trailer, we got to see, like, just like in horror movies, you see, like, you'll get to the crime scene, you'll see clues from the killer, like you'll see like a bloody gun, broken windows, bashed in door, or stuff like that. You see that, but you missed it. And so, like, this is kind of like dealing with that. And there seems to be a lot of walking in this trailer, which would make sense. And, like, the figure, the Jason figure, quote unquote, is just, they walk to their destination, like the Michael Myers, like, and they just pop up, and there's a lot of walking. And so, again, so this could just be something boring and like bland, but it's all about execution with this stuff. And if you have an interesting premise, and it's just all about how you execute it. And I guess that's the same with uninteresting premises too, but there could be something really, really fun with this one. And so it just seems it's gonna be it's just all about what they write and how they portray the downtime of the killer. You know, what is he doing in his downtime? And try to and if they're able to make that interesting to watch, you know. So yeah, that's my thing with this movie. I'm really excited for it, honestly. But we got to keep it moving though. This is an official trailer, like so. That's why I put it in here. All the rest were teasers, so it's probably gonna be my last time talking about it until it comes out. Don't know if I'll review it though, but if there's, I'm pretty sure. Like if it's, yeah, I might review it. We'll see. But on to the next thing. So this was a teaser. So for Chaos, starring Jeff Goldblum as Zeus, releasing later this year on Netflix. So we got a quick little teaser. And I haven't seen American Gods, but this seems like, from what I've heard about American Gods, seem like this thing, type of vibe. Like he's a Zeus, basically. He's the king of gods, and he's wearing like this flashy ass, not flashy, yeah, I would say flashy. He's wearing this fucking tracksuit and has a gold watch, and he's like on a paradise, and it seems like he goes down to Earth. And there's so this is from the producers of Chernobyl. Which is a very, very great show. The writer of The End of the Fucking World. Is that the one, the Mahershala Ali? Yeah, that is. I actually really enjoyed that one. I was getting that confused with Don't Look Up, which I haven't seen. But yeah, End of the Fucking World. I think that's the one with Mahershala Ali, which I really, really enjoyed. Not I really, I didn't like fucking love it, but it was an enjoyable watch to me. So it seems like he like visits Earth though, and there's just a lot of fucked up shit going on. It just is a quick flash of, let's see what these images say, because it's like a quick flash of like an intense violence and whatnot. Just starvation, genocide, death, disease, pandemics, epidemics, people like rioting and being unfairly treated by police and whatnot. So it seems like he'll be coming in and dealing with that. So gonna be interesting to see. I like Jeff Goldblum, and it seems like again another interesting premise. I mean, it's not horror, but God coming down and see what. So it just has some good names and attached to it and whatnot. So it's gonna be interesting to see a official trailer on that. So it's gonna be interesting to keep an eye on that. On to the next thing though. Supacell. So this is another Netflix thing. A new series created by Rapman. Who is Rapman? I think it's like a UK artist. Who is Rapman? Let's see. His name seemed pretty self-explanatory, right? Let's see. Rapman. Rapman is known for. Oh, he's a British rapper and record producer. That's what it says. Okay. All right. But anyways, so this is set in South London, and a group of people are gifted with some powers. And basically, like this guy, he just got his life on track with this girl. Got a new car. This got a new crib, and he gets visited by himself. Of him, well, wait, hold on. He gets a visit from himself in the future, and basically, I don't know. Wait, he takes him to the future. Something happens, but he sees like the grave of his girlfriend, and he's like, the future self is like, she's gonna die, and but you could stop this, and you have to find these other people with powers. But if one of you dies, then she dies, and so yeah. I mean, I don't really know what the fuck's going on, but it seemed like a something interesting to watch. Keep tabs on. Again, I don't know if I'll review this, but I'll probably watch this with my shorty or something. So we'll see what this is hidden for. Probably talk about it in the weekly watch list. Don't know if I will review it like I said, but we'll see. But yeah, it was something interesting. But yes, that was all of the movies and shows trailers. Was those all movies? I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the gaming side of things, so we can get into the review, my boy. We got two trailers on the gaming side of things, but before we get into those, so it seems like the production on GTA 6 is reportedly falling behind, with a fall 2025 launch looking more feasible. It's supposed to release early 2025. I think that was the projections. But delaying the game to 2026 is on the table as an emergency option. So this is from Kotaku. I don't know if any other places reported it, but this is what I was reading from. Yeah, so there's like I think couple weeks back where some news came out about Rockstar for requiring all their employees to come work back in the office 5 days a week for the last stretch of GTA 6 development. And which seems like, not really a problem on the surface level, I guess. Like, oh my God, like they're getting forced to go back in the office. But it becomes a problem when you hired workers that were specifically hired to be remote, and maybe they live far from the office because they got hired to be remote, and so them having to come in is not a feasible thing to do on a regular basis. And so those things arise and whatnot. Oh, I had to crack my back, sorry. And then still cracking it. All right, we're good. um what was I saying? So yeah, and so that could be due to this, them being behind development wise. I don't know what, a bunch of development things, but does going back in the office, like, does that, are you able to, I guess it's more collaborative thing. Like, you're not fucking spread out and you don't have to go to Zoom calls, like set up Zoom meetings, like you're in an office setting. Like, I guess I get that sense, like, and then you're just all collaborating on this thing and really getting it done. I guess I do see that. But, if there's other things, in the mixture, then doesn't make the situation just black and white. They're coming in. But I brought this up for, it sucks that GTA is possibly getting delayed. Honestly, we've been waiting so long. For me, it's like, I honestly don't care. Like, bro, it's been 10 plus years already, bro. What is a fucking another year? Honestly. So yeah, this is no bother to me, but this suck, whatever. But what they were saying though in this article is that them being under, kind of behind, this could bring back crunch, which Rockstar is kind of known for, but they've been improving on that, and so this could be possibly lead back into crunch, which is kind of, it sucks a lot, and so I hope that just doesn't happen. But yeah, I mean, I don't have really much to say about that, but it's kind of big. GTA 6 might get delayed. Some Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection news. So, like I said last week, I guess released as a disaster. Bad fucking remake. Like, oh my gosh, like, how do you fumble the ball this hard? I'm just talking about remakes in general. The GTA like trilogy collection or whatever. It's like you had one job, and in this case, like, the game itself was there. Like, they weren't fucking doing, like, they weren't even going to the extent of the GTA trilogy remake. They were literally just porting it, and they did it fucking ass. But anyways, they apparently stole some modder stuff, and so there was, I guess, some concerns that came out when this, the classic collection was being introduced originally. I guess like some modding animations with like the lightsaber combat is what they stole, and so I guess I think some people picked up on this, like, maybe from a trailer or something like that. But there was concerns before, and I guess Asper assured the community like that wasn't the case. But I guess this person like data mined I don't know how that works or something, and they found the same bugs and glitches that were on their version. So it was the exact same files that animations, and so yeah, it's just shitty practices from already a shitty situation. So, Asper, you suck, I guess. Are they completely responsible for this? If that's the case, you suck. But yeah, let's get into the trailers. So, the first one, before we get into the lengthy Dragon Ball Sparking trailer, I'm gonna try to keep these two, because we're at a minute or hour 12 right now. I'm gonna try to keep this to an hour 30. So we can get into have a good amount of time to talk about the review. So we're not rushing, But yeah, I'm not on a time crunch. I just really don't want this to be a fucking 2.5 hour, 3 hour show, Like, I've been really trying to, who wants to fucking listen? Maybe there's value in that, but yeah, it'd be a lot to listen to, even for myself. But yeah, let's just get into this Black Panther trailer. And I'm over here saying we gotta hurry up, and I'm over here fucking wasting time. This looks fucking great, brother. Again, this is just a story trailer. So, and I did not. This is just a story trailer. So this is not. indication of the quality of the game. But from the very least, the story looks interesting, and the graphics look amazing. So I did not, though, with reading some stuff. I forgot, guys. I forgot. This is coming from the hold on, let me see. Okay, yes. So this is coming from this is led by Amy Henning, the former creative director of the Uncharted series and Visceral Games unfinished Star Wars game. So I think that was the 9 311 1313 bounty hunter game I talked about previously, canceled, like Boba Fett, Jango Fett, Uncharted type of Coruscant game I talked about. Oh, yeah, I was talking about with the cancel of the Mandalorian game. Go find that, I guess. But so she's behind that, and actually, we'll get into that in a second. But actually, no, we'll come back to that. But that's very very good. So just the story cinematic, bro. This could be some crazy. Oh wait, that's the Dragon Ball trailer. Where is? Yeah, so the story though, the graphics, bro, that's the thing. The graphics looks fucking lifelike, bro. Some Black Panther himself though. There's a scene of him talking, like, shouting to Captain America. And this is called Rise of Hydra. And so this is, I'm pretty sure, dealing with Red Skull and stuff. And so this is like I'm not even sure. So I'm trying to just kind of come from this because I didn't really get any details from like the story trailer itself. It just seemed like stuff was happening, and it's just out of context. Like that is just means kind of nothing unless I just was not paying attention enough. But Nazis, Black Panther, basically, I guess all you need to know: Captain America is after Red Skull and the Nazis and Hydra. Black Panther's doing the same thing. They don't know each other, so they're butting heads. They're beefing, about to throw hands, and they're probably going to end up coming together to fight Hydra together. So that's probably going to be the thing. And so, but it's interesting to see the conflict between this Black Panther and this king. Who is it? Who is it? Let's see. Azuri. So I don't know. I think that might be T'Challa's great grandfather. Yes, I think that's T'Challa's great grandfather, if I'm not mistaken. So like I said, the story didn't really, from my recollection, unless I'm just blanking, didn't really show a whole lot, like what's going on and like why, unless they did say it and I just didn't pay attention, why Black Panther's after Hydra, of course. Like, why are they involving themselves in this conflict? It probably has something to do with vibranium because, they're hidden for the most part, or they're trying to tread on Wakanda Nation and he's trying to stop it. I'm not sure. But when I was reading about before I get into like some gameplay stuff, this is the same engine, like why like the cutscenes and the story stuff looks this way. This is the same as Unreal Engine 5, and this is the same engine that's going to be used to develop the Iron Man game that EA is doing. Oh, and then also I was gonna doing, so that's gonna be great. And I was talking about some Black Panther controversy last week, and I thought it had to do with this game and about like the team of what's it called, Black Panther, that Black Panther game not hiring white people, only hiring black people. If you want to, that's the whole thing in itself. I don't feel like getting into, but that's not to do with this game. I guess there's another Black Panther game coming out, which I did not know. I thought there was just only this one. That's why I thought it was to do with this game. But this is by Skydance, and that was like Cliffhanger Games. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up really quick. But yeah. So actually, before I move on from the graphics, so someone said on Twitter though, they saying like people being obsessed with these like lifelike graphics are why these AAA games are costing $200 to $300 million, becoming like unsustainable. And that is definitely true. And I was like really thinking about that. It's like, what route do you go? Like, do you charge more for these type of games? Do you do less of them? Is this not the route that gaming needs to go? Like, do we need to go back to more, not realistic, like super detailed games? I'm not saying have no detail, but like, you're getting stuff with Helldivers 2 only, like that's like $40, and there's quite a bit of detail in this game, but it's not like lifelike like this. And so it's like, what route do you go at that point? And would you, I don't really know if I would be okay with paying, let's say like a AAA game like this costing 200, $300 million is $100. Like, am I okay with that? It's like, and it's like, where if you go that route, where does that end? Where it's like it's a slippery slope. So it's like, where in the industry do these games fit? You know, is we're honestly gonna see less of them, and it's just like if we are gonna see less of them, they're gonna be willing to take less risk with them. So of course, I feel like we're still gonna get them, but something of this budget isn't gonna be like an original idea or a risky idea. It's gonna be something established. It's gonna be something like this. It's gonna be something like Spider-Man. It's gonna be something like Call of Duty. It's gonna be something like something that is a guaranteed hit to get their money back, because that is a big investment, no cap. But you know, it's like it's interesting to see like the next, I guess, 10 years of gaming evolve and what that's gonna look like later. But let's get into, like I said, let's get into some gameplay stuff. I mean, of course, we haven't seen anything, but if this is like gonna be Uncharted esque, this is from the same, being led by Amy Hennig, who was the lead creative director of the Uncharted series, which I love that series a lot. This is just like in itself, I feel like is gonna. I'm a third person guy. Like, of course, I feel like there is a lot of different ways you could play with the superhero genre in gaming. You can do cards based stuff like, Midnight Suns. More side scrolly platforming things. I don't know what would be an example of that, but there's multiple routes and there's different genres of gaming that you can play with the superhero genre in, and I feel like, they should do that more. But the third person over the shoulder shit, like that's my jam, bro. God of War, like the God of War esque, Spider-Man esque, Uncharted esque. Like, I feel like that is the one of the easiest ways to put you in the shoes of a superhero. I feel like it's better than first person stuff, because like it's just like you're in control of it just works really well for the genre. So it's like I will never really get tired of this over the shoulder stuff. Of course, it's like if it's on the rails constantly and it's not a lot of there, it's just super scripted. There's that, but it's like if the script is fucking good and it's good scripted events and whatnot and set pieces, what am I complaining about? It's just always gonna be my jam. And I know a lot of people seem to be getting tired of that or whatever, but I like it a lot. So that being said, though, just speculating with the gameplay, like if it's gonna be anything like Uncharted, bro, I love the set pieces of Uncharted, bro. They're so fun. Literally my favorite one, and probably like in almost like of all of gaming, damn near, really. Just the fun of it is just when you're falling out the plane in Uncharted 3 and you're just going from crate to crate, and that's just so fun. And it's just like, you know, putting that type of flair on like superhero stuff, like who. I can't get tired of that, bro. If it's done well, it's like that's late. So, if it's anything like that, I'm on board. I'm already on board, but it's just like you don't gotta do much to really impress. Nah, that's not necessarily the right case, the right thought process. But you don't outside of the formula, of it being well done, like you don't gotta be super innovative to of course, and that's still not the right point, but I hope that's making a little sense. Like, of course, I want innovation, but I'm locked in with the formula, Innovate within the formula, per se. That's, I guess, a better way to put it, I guess. But, oh, and then I was reading, apparently it's going to be 4 playable characters. I didn't really see. Yeah, so in this article, it says the trailer also revealed more about the game's setting and 4 playable characters: young Steve Rogers, aka Captain America; Azuri, the Black Panther; the World War II. Hold on. Young Steve Rogers, aka Captain America; Azuri, the World War II era Black Panther; and T'Challa's grandfather. Oh, okay. Semicolon. That's like I said, yeah, T'Challa's grandfather. Gabriel Jones, a U.S. soldier, and member of Howling Commandos, and Nalani, a Wakandan spy. Okay, so apparently going to be playing as them. I hope that the non-superpowered characters' gameplay are gonna fucking grind the game to a screeching halt like the fucking MJ sections and stuff did in the Spider-Man games. But though, with the Steve Rogers stuff, that's very interesting, because if we get to play as Captain America, bro, That could be lit because there's an old Captain America game that was on the PS3 and like Xbox 360, and it was basically like Batman Arkham, but Captain America, and you could throw his shield and shit. So it was like, story was like kind of, I think it was like a movie tie-in game. I'm not sure where in the story, but it was really fun though. Like the combat was fun. I remember liking it a lot as a kid. And what's it called? How did I get that game? I think I low key stole it from my friend's house. Not my friend's house, my brother's friend's house. It was like kind of his friend. I was young, bro. Don't judge me. Um, but yeah, it was either I stole it or I asked for it. It was one of the two, honestly. But I ended up with it. So, but yeah, it was super lit. So it's like if they play with that type of and what's it called? Uncharted series kind of has the same combat as the Arkham series. At least, is it all of the games? I know for sure Uncharted 4 is like more of a parry, boom boom parry system. So yeah, this is gonna be really fun though. Howling Commandos though, huh? So it says Gabriel Jones. We'll be seeing young Nick Fury because wasn't he a part of the Howling Commandos? I don't know if how long that team's been around or if there's like different variations of that team or whatever. Oh, then also though, before I move on to the Dragon Ball Sparking trailer, it's I'm not keeping this under hour 30. We'll bleed a little over, but the Black Panther voice actor is fire, bro. I did not know that. Okay, so he was in The Walking Dead. He played this was kind of when I was like I kind of fell off of The Walking Dead when he was like introduced. But he says he plays like King or something. He has like a tiger. But he also plays Teen Titans 2003, the cartoon version of Cyborg, Aqualad, and Azrael in the Arkham games. And like I didn't learning that, and then hearing his voice in the trailer, I was like, oh wow, I do see that. He's just a fire voice actor, and it's funny. I really like. He's a fucking very good voice actor. I'm just like thinking in my head like how much I liked Aqualad's performance in Young Justice. Like that was really good, and I really like him in Arkham Knight. That was really solid. But yeah, on to dun, 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 the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gameplay. I'ma keep it a buck 50 with y'all. The Sparking Zero gameplay almost made me shed a tear. I'm not gonna lie to you. That could be, you can say that's the corniest shit or whatever the case. I don't care, bro. Like this has been a part of my life since I was a fucking jit, like a kid, bro. Like this shit was kind of beautiful to see. And there's just so this is like the longest look of that we've got to see. So we got to see actually, let's see, what starts at like 2:19 and it ends at, so we got to see about 3 minutes of like official, I would say like kind of 5 minutes because there's a bit at the end of a like long of gameplay between Vegeta and Goku. So let's honestly, I just really want to get into this and kind of break it down, honestly. I'll give you a second. I don't know if you want to toss up the trailer yourself and we can go through it together, but if you already seen it. But in essence, though, it just captures. It just looks like it looks like Dragon Ball. Oh wow. It looks like Dragon Ball. Tenkaichi, Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, like the hitting, the countering, like that all it looks familiar, bro, and it just looks updated, bro. And holy impact frames, bro. It's been like the era of impact frames. What else had? Oh, X-Men 97 had some crazy impact frames, bro. And this has some, bro. I don't even know what to. I can't even just. I'm just baffled. Oh, I guess okay. What I really really like about this trailer is just the scale and the depth of everything. Like when you knock and this is just I feel like the power of like the next gen consoles though. It's like when you knock an enemy back, like when he knocks Vegeta back, bro, he goes flying far. Like or at least it just looks like it like depth wise, and it's honestly kind of maybe because like I'm not seeing this on my screen itself. It's a little hard to see where the characters are when they're super. Of course, you have a lock-on system, but they just kind of look super small. So yeah, but just the depth and stuff, and I really, it was hard for me to find like the problems with this, and I found like there's one specific problem I had with the gameplay, but I watched Syriac's like breakdown of it, and he kind of revealed some more problems with it, just that I was overlooking. But let's just talk about the visuals real quick before I get into the problems. Bro, like I said, the impact frames when they're firing up like doing a move or something, their ultimates, like it looks fucking amazing. Uh, the battle damage, it seems to become fairly quickly. So there's actually let's go full screen on this. So there's seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 stocks of health. And so maybe I think the seven's like getting into the blue territory. If you played the Tenkaichi games, you know what I'm talking about. The UI though, I feel like the UI in the Tenkaichi games was always simple, but I feel like it could be a little bit more stylized in my opinion. Like what game did it? It's like the Scout. Was it just the Budokai games? It was like the scouter like visual. It was really cool. I feel like that could be a little bit more interesting. It reminds me of Jump Force, and that's not really good. And I guess I'll get to this problem real quick. So this is a problem that Siri Axe brought up, and I really didn't see it at first, but the um character models are a little like stiff. And I guess this goes in with my problem too. It's a little stiff, and it's kind of hard to realize, especially with like a lot going on. But when you like really look at it, you start to notice. And also when characters, and I guess this goes into the stiffness though. This is the problem I saw on my first viewing. Is when they get hit with like a ultimate or a special attack, they don't really seem to be affected by a whole lot. I mean, obviously yes, they get damaged, but I don't know, it just doesn't have a lot of oomph impact, you know. It seems like a very I'm looking at Vegeta throw this Gawa gun at Goku. Like he's definitely affected by it, but it just, I don't know. Maybe that's like a super small nitpick, or maybe this example is not a good one because I definitely seen. I think it was someone got hit by some. Oh, I think it was when he got hit by the final flash. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, I think it was when he got hit by the final flash. There wasn't really any impact on it. But yeah, the impact frames though, when Vegeta fires up that final flash, bro, whew, at 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Oh man, that's like when the flash is black and white. That's fucking fire. Yeah, and he shoots it at Goku. And yeah, it's like I didn't really like that impact. It's super nitpicky, I guess, but again, and then this footage is shown to be under development, so all this could be, ironed out before the game comes out, of course. Also, what I really like is though the damage it does to the world and like this. So like if you do an attack or you hit someone on the ground, it cooks up a lot of smoke, and it's actually like you can't see. And the particle effect with the smoke is really done well. Like Vegeta sends some ki blast through the smoke, and it parts the smoke in a very natural way. When characters rush through the smoke or debris or whatever, it does it in a very natural way. I think that's really cool. Visually, this game looks great. For sure. It's actually something before we get into like the new techniques, and what they've added to the game. I think they're about to clash, but actually before that, what was I gonna say? Jeez, I was on a thought process. I think it's when, oh yeah, when Goku fires up his ultimate Kamehameha, it like creates this aura around him, and it really reminds me of Jump Force with just like the particle effects around him and stuff. It doesn't really look that great, and it's just when Goku just does his Kamehameha, because when Vegeta fires up his final flash, he doesn't get this like weird like aura thing around him. Is that from like the show or something? I've definitely seen the show, but I just don't remember it a whole lot, or like visually really remember. Jesus Christ, bro. Visually remember it. And so, and then like they charge it up into a beam clash. Well, that was a big thing. So with beam clashes, and so if you're a Tenkaichi vet, you know that it was an analog beam clash, and whoever spun the analog the fastest won, and that led to a lot of controllers being broken and whatnot. So it's just like, damn, if that's coming back, we're gonna be sacrificing fucking some $70 controllers just for a goddamn win. Which I would do it. But that was just gonna be tough. But it seems like it's more of a timing thing. You press triangle like at the height of this bar going up, and I think that the closer you get to it being full when you press triangle, then that's how you win and whatnot. So that's great. But the beam clash is fucking fire, bro. They like literally like, I called it goofy. I'm making a video right now, and they did this in the Broly Super movie. They did they beam clash some they got like they were just going so crazy they got transported to a different dimension, and so that's what their being class does in the game, which is really really cool. It, like shatters the reality and whatnot. So that's fucking fire. Yeah, so that's like pretty much it on the gameplay. Besides like technical things, like there's no. Oh, I guess there's new like a new passive like meter that builds up when you fight or whatever, and this allows you to do various things like you can swat away key attacks like they did in Raging Blast 2, but in Raging Blast 2 is just like a purely timing thing. I don't think you just need to have any key or whatever, and so that's cool. And like there's other stuff that like you could use the meter for. I guess actually let's get into the new skills and whatnot they added. So like there's a rush. I guess that's like I haven't played the Tenkaichi games in a while, so it's like the stuff that they added. It's like especially this particularly the rush. Like I guess they added like it's the same speed as like the Dragon Dash or something. What they're saying it's just like, bro, I haven't played it in fucking years, bro. Like that's lost on me. But the stuff that they did add that did of note was like the key evasive thing, like say you could swat like a Kamehameha away or something like that. Something that really stood out to me is the what's it called? It was when you were getting attacked, you can like interrupt. So that used 2. So he has 4. He has 4 under his name right now, and he used 2 of that to break up Vegeta's combo and open him up, interrupt his attack and open him up to get the beats put on him. Let's see. Same thing with the evasive SWAT thing. It costs 2 to do that. So yeah, these I'm not sure if that's the only 2 things that those skill points are used for. Maybe different characters have different things. Maybe that uses maybe an instant transmission uses that, something like that. One thing I saw that would be so fucking fire though, with like the debris and the smoke and everything, is like when a character is like engulfed and can't visually see or whatever. It's just you chain an instant transmission to that and just teleport behind them like through the smoke, bro. That would be so lit. So I really hope you could somehow string that together with something. That'd be lit. What was I gonna say? Oh, the battle. Did I speak about the battle damage? The battle damage is so cool. Vegeta seemed to get fucked up fairly quickly. He's in his just like gi Goku shirt, blue shirt only. So that's gonna be lit. And then so I think that was the skills, and they also showed. I'll be going over the roster in a second. But they also showed at the end of this Dispo, Beerus's kind from Trunks actually. Yeah, that was actually really cool. So Dispo super fast. He was beating Trunks' ass, and like he hit him, and Trunks recovered and then boost right back to Dispo hit him away, and Trunks recovered and boosted right back to Dispo and like got onto the offensive, and that was really cool. So it seems maybe is that like a more tanky character thing, like can recover and like get back in the action faster. I don't know. I hope there's just more of a it seems so like in this way what I'm about to say more of an advantage as bigger and they keep that like bigger slower characters hit harder and whatnot, but faster characters move obviously faster and can and I hope they just play in that to that more. Bigger characters are tankier and whatnot, or can recover faster, whatever the case. But yeah, this trailer just shows Super Trunks, Roshi, Jiren, I believe. No, Topo. I think it's Topo in the fucking anime. But Birder, Jace. One thing though that is interesting about Nappa. And then someone's from Brienne's crew or whatever her name was from the Tournament of Power. One thing, so Birder and Jace do like this team attack, and so I don't know if that is because, I don't remember fully. In the Tenkaichi games, like if you're playing like Android 17, 18, I think they have a combined attack, but I think if you don't have them like in a team battle, if you don't have one of them equipped, they still like do it though. So I don't know if this is an indication of them doing their team attack, that they're just on the same team, and then this is a super move they can do when they're on the same team together, or is this just like a super move that just includes them both and you can do it, regardless if you have Jace or Birder on your team, whoever's doing the move. But I really hope they bring team battle back. Oh, yeah, we got to look at Broly from Super and Kale as their legendary Super Saiyan forms, and so that was super cool. Broly, let's see, did we just can see like a really energy wave from him, explosive wave. I meant, oh, and Hit, yeah, Hit looks really cool. It's gonna be cool to see how that his special attacks play out and stuff. Let's see. Is there anything else to talk about before I get into the roster and we move on? I don't think so. Oh, I guess what I want to see from this game, I hope it just has a variety of game modes. Obviously, I feel like we're gonna go through the typical story. Um, I hope they do Dragon Ball as well, but beyond that, I hope there's some fun tournament modes online. Maybe some what if stories, maybe some like gauntlet stuff. I don't know, like the stuff they had like in a Raging Blast 2, like you had to face various characters on a team, and challenges and whatnot, defeat them within a certain amount of time. I just hope there's various game modes and stuff, and not just story, PvP, and that's it. But yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, let's actually go to the roster though. Let's go to the roster so far. So we got quite a few looks, and there's still there's more missing than what's it called? But to go into this, actually, zoom in. Can I not zoom in? All right, hold on. Let me actually save this picture because I can't seem to zoom in on Twitter. Let me save this picture. I guess I'll just save it here. Let's see, show in folder. Now we can zoom in. All right, cool. So now we can zoom in. So we got Jace, Birder, Krillin, Kale, Yamcha, Dispo, Tien, Piccolo, Frieza, Nappa. Let me zoom out. Nappa, Hit, Scouter, Vegeta, Great Ape, Vegeta. So what's interesting is that Great Ape, Vegeta, and Scouter, I know that like these other forms of Vegeta take up a spot. That's weird. Because when like Scouter Vegeta would just be able to turn into Great Ape Vegeta. And then, obviously there's a difference between early Goku, mid Goku, and whatnot, and what they can turn into. But like I feel like there just should be 3 Gokus, right? Early Goku that just has like Kaioken, mid Goku that just has like Super Saiyan, and maybe Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3, and then a Super Goku that has red God form, blue, and maybe Ultra Instincts, right? Like there's just only should be 3 Goku. There's literally one. This Goku don't even know what he would be. Blue Goku, Goku Red, Super Saiyan God. There's 2 base Gokus, 2 God Gokus, a Super Saiyan 3 Super Saiyan Gokus, a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, another base Goku, and that's all the Gokus. So hopefully these just come. No, there's another Super Saiyan Goku up here. Is that really how they're doing it? That's kind of ass, huh? So anyway, let's go through the roster. So, Scouter Vegeta, Great Ape, Hercule, Majin Buu, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, a Super Saiyan base Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, another Super Saiyan Goku, a base Goku, another Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan God Blue, Super Saiyan God Red, another base Goku, Vegeta base, Vegeta Super Saiyan, Vegeta Majin Vegeta, another Vegeta Super Saiyan, Vegeta God, Vegeta Blue, another base Vegeta, another Vegeta Super Saiyan. Yeah, these repeats are kind of pissing me off. I hope they kind of just combine and whatever. But but with that being said, there's more than enough spots, but it's just like, damn, all these fucking repeats, they can just combine and put other characters in. But we got Topo, Cell, Android 17 Super, Jiren, Trunks Super, Wolf Nigga from Tournament of Power, Broly Super Saiyan, Broly Base, Broly Legendary Super Saiyan. You have Super Saiyan Trunks, Super Trunks, someone from Brienne's crew. Oh, here's another fucking Goku and Kaioken. What the fuck, brother? Android 18, Roshi. Did I miss anyone? Kale, Krillin. I think that's everyone so far. Why are there? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why the fuck are there 11 Gokus? Was that the case in that was not the case in fucking Tenkaichi 3, right? 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 And we still got fucking Super Saiyan 4 Goku GT. So is fucking Kid Goku GT gonna be a fucking thing? And then Super Saiyan 4 Goku GT? And then you got Kid Goku from fucking the original Dragon Ball. There are gonna be 20 Gokus in this game. That is not the case, right? I know there's quite a few Gokus in Tenkaichi, but there's not this many. This has to be. They have to be showing this in a way that just shows like what forms they have, right? Right? Please tell me that's right. Oh my god. Again, it's not the biggest deal. There's still a lot of spots, but that's just kind of annoying, I guess. Moving on. We're 15 minutes behind schedule. But yeah, so that's it for the gaming stuff. On the comic side of things, we have Ultimate Spider-Man dropping next week. Super excited about that. There were some really cool previews that came out. That story's just so great, so great. But yeah, let's get into the main topic. Late Night with the Devil review. Let me get a swig of water before we get into this. All right, let's talk about the AI in the room before we get into the synopsis and stuff. So this movie used AI, and a lot of people are mad about this, which rightfully so. The thing is, okay, so I guess the ground level is AI is used as a tool for sure, but then when it comes to generative AI, it just steals work of artists. Especially AI is used as a tool in animation. But there's probably other applications and whatnot outside of animation that don't necessarily lead to people losing their jobs. But in this case, it was used generative AI, which basically steals a bunch of artwork from various artists and makes their quote unquote own thing with them from stolen artwork across the internet, and so that's what this movie used, and they used them on like 3 title screens that like it will make more sense when I go into the synopsis of the movie, but they use it for 3 title screen, very minuscule, but I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had and needs to be continued on being had, especially with the entertainment industry with AI and stuff, because they would have, if AI was not in the picture of the situation, they would have paid a artist like $1,000 to like mock up or come up with these 3 title screen things, right? That would have probably a little bit more expensive, but someone would have been doing that. And basically what they did, they from what I was reading, they generated the images and then edited them afterwards. But still, that would have been someone's job, and I don't know. AI is not going to go away. It's going to be an industry in some sort, bro. We live in a money-hungry society, and AI, it cuts cost. That's just I feel like the boilerplate of the situation. And I'm not saying to be okay with it or anything like that. But with that being said, though, there just needs to be strict regulation, and there are constant conversations to be had with this. And I saw a good point when like we're just reading around this, sorry, this is a mouthful before we even get into the movie, that this is an indie movie, and so not seeing this movie over those uses of AI, which would be valid in every way, but it's just such a small part of the movie, and I feel like the beneficial thing to do in this situation, especially like this is an indie horror movie, and this is a good premise, and I feel like boycotting it in that way would just harm stuff like this more than anything. To see less stuff like this, but I feel like it does need to open up the conversation about AI being used in, stuff like this, indie or bigger, whatever the case. And so I don't know, do what you want to do. It's fucking your life. Like if you want to boycott the movie, boycott the movie. But let's just get into it, I guess, because I liked it a lot. And I feel like the uses of AI, which are very, 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 what's it called? Important to the what the fuck am I trying to say? Important to the discussion, or that I don't even know what I'm trying to say. The topic is important, but I feel like the the minuscule way that they were used, I don't feel like warrants an entire boycott of the film. But that's just me. Like, do what you want. I feel like there's a lot more talent in various things that are bigger than that small use of AI, which I don't. And I use the word small very reluctantly because it's an issue. It is an issue. I don't want to diminish that at all. But do what you want. Or sell the 7 seas, and there's that. Yeah. So this movie though, this had I'm not a horror movie person at all. So with that being said, I really really like the movie a lot, a lot, a lot. What gets me into a horror movie is the premise. So the premise or iconic character, and it looks like it's gonna be a good movie. Like the Halloween movies, if they were like all the way solid, like the newer ones, and I think one of them is, I would have been more upbeat to check that out. Michael Myers is cool. Like if they made a new Freddy Krueger movie and it looks solid, I'll go see that. And just my thing when I was younger, bro, it's just like I liked scary movies, but then I just came to the realization of like I'm having like nightmares about this stuff. I'm like scared to walk down the hall and it's when it's dark. Like I'm scared to stay home. This is when I was kid and shit. Like I'm scared to stay home alone and shit. Like why am I purposely doing that to myself? So I just like kind of just stopped watching scary movies. Well, obviously being older, kind of like more warmed up to them, and so now it's just like out of all feelings I would want to feel when I'm watching something happy, sad, or whatever the case, excited or like whatever. Like, why would I why would I choose to be scared? I don't know. That's just me. But anyways, this movie has a very interesting premise. So basically, it stars, I've been probably saying his name very wrong. David, David Dashlom, fucking hell. Hold on, let's take a break real quick. I'm about to go see how to pronounce his name, because I've probably been saying it wrong this whole time. Let's see. He was in Oppenheimer? Was he? I don't remember. All right, continue with the pause, because I got to turn my volume on. David Dalsmalshin. Okay, so I have been saying it very wrong this whole time. But yeah, it stars David Dalsmalshin, and basically he is the host of a talk show, and his ratings aren't doing the best, and so he's bringing on various acts to spice it up, and it's Halloween night, and he brings on a girl that may be possibly possessed by a demon. Is it real? Is it fake? Is it gonna affect the show going forward? Is it going to, do these various things? So, is it gonna make the night spooky? And it indeed made the night spooky. So this movie is had a very unique structure, which I liked a lot. Okay, so before we get into that though, let's get into some box office. So apparently I couldn't find a concrete number on the budget, and I just saw this number on Reddit somewhere, and so this could not be the case at all. But considering that this movie takes place in one location, and does a lot of practical effects and doesn't rely on CGI heavily or anything like that, this could be very well the case. But it seems this number that was floated around was 1 to 1.5 million on the budget. That seems very low, but I don't know. It doesn't really have any, like, from my knowledge, any, like, I feel like David is the biggest name actor in this. Could be wrong. So, maybe salaries and for them weren't significant. Like, they're not getting fucking 10 mil to make a fucking appearance, So this budget could be very well the case. And the box office, it seemed to made this weekend, I'm recording Sunday morning right now, 1.1 mil at the box office. So, hey, it seems like it's doing really, really well. Typical movie math, always not the case, but, double the budget to account for marketing. So if it's 1 million, it'll be 2 million that's what it needs to break even, and above that to go green. 1.5 million to be 3 million, more than that to go green. So this was directed by Cameron and Colin Kane. So these are brothers, and I didn't really see, when I was looking at their movies, anything big per se. I don't want to, diminish their movies, like making the movies a big thing, but, not necessarily stand out. So this is definitely something great under their belt for show. Not that I know anything, but anyways, like I said, this movie had a very interesting structure. It was structured like a talk show host or talk show, and so just like the pacing of it. So when it starts off very exposition. Oh, I forgot to mention too. Jesus, sorry. This will be spoiler free, and so I'll get into spoilers and I'll let it be known until when I get there. But for now, spoiler free. And so at the start of this movie, though, it started off very exposition heavy, and I really it kind of turned me off for a bit because I was like, "Fuck, bro, is this movie gonna be boring, bro? I might have to come on the podcast tomorrow and say this movie was boring as shit." And so I was really worried about that, but it's really used. It just sets the stage really well for the ensuing events, and so this is more like a past that point, once it gets to the actual show portion, it's kind of like a found footage show. So this basically is like the footage of what took place that night. You know, so it's like it's all from the perspective of the TV show cameras, and it just has a very you know, what is the era 70s like aesthetic to it, and it's really convincing. I really like David. We call him David D, bro. I just found out how to pronounce his name, but David D, bro. I really liked his charisma in this, and he really had a what is the right words for it? He had a lot of charisma, but you felt the desperateness and like the scumminess per se, and just like what depths he would go to keep the show rolling, you know. And I'll get to that more in spoilers, but I really liked that a lot. Like I really liked his performance in this. Really held it down in my opinion, and I really liked the cast in general was really well. Actually, let's go to the cast because the girl that plays the possessed girl, she was really creepy and eerie, and really had some like really intense moments. And her name's Ingrid Torelli. What is she? Has she really been anything? Ingrid Torelli. Not really anything that I've seen. But yeah, she was really good in this. And Lauren Gordon, she looks very familiar. Wait, is this? Huh? She looks kind of familiar, but I don't really see anything. She's in a Saw movie. Maybe I saw that. Yeah, but it's basically she plays like the lady supervising the possessed child and whatnot. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the cast was really good, but I don't know where I was going. But anyways, I liked how like it wasn't a typical just, oh, this girl's possessed and you know that's the name of the game. But there's a little bit more deeper than that, and some more stuff that I'll get to in spoilers that really like played into the possessions and whatnot, and I really liked a lot. Let's see, let's get to my notes. So like I said, I really like the talk show structure. Once like, you know, the exposition heavy start, you know, we get past that, it really gets going and it doesn't stop, and I really like that a lot. It was really not even fast paced, but like I said, it just gets once the ball starts rolling, it just keeps on going, my friend. I really like this movie. I think what I really liked it too. It wasn't too scary. Like there's a lot of comedic moments in it. Really surprisingly, honestly, and I really like that. I feel like really balance the horror and the comedy really well. And of course, not everything lands, but yeah, I really like the comedy in this for the most part. Let's see. Yeah, just like this was just an overall interesting experience. Like it just being the way it was and like set up like a talk show. It just really felt like a long show, and that obviously like that's the premise, but it just really conveyed that well, and it just really had my focus during the whole time, and I was really just into it. Obviously I was into it, but it was just it was a good experience. It was something that was really unique, honestly. Like I can't really think of anything that like really, I don't know, bro. Like the more I think about it, it was just like I keep saying this, but it was honestly a unique experience. I'm trying to like rummage through my mind to see if any other movie like made me feel this way in any type of capacity. I'm not talking about from pure emotion, just like, wow, that was interesting. Like I keep saying that, but that's just really what it boils down to. Like I'm trying to find some different terminology in my head, but it's just like that's what it boils down to, and that's what it was. And I honestly, I'm glad I went to go watch this movie. Like honestly, and I went with my girlfriend. She had a really good time too, and we had a good time together. It was fun. It was a fun watch. I can't lie to you. And I really like the ending of it too. I feel like it just wraps up really well in a way that was really satisfying. I really, yeah, bro, I really like this movie. No cap. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some more spoilery things. Hmm. Sound like a fucking Minecraft villager. Um. Oh, the practical effects. The practical effects are really good. I see. I like when I really enjoy a movie and it like prompts me to research things outside of like the initial viewing or digest things outside of the initial viewing, like with Dune. I ended up checking out the score on Spotify, and I listened through it like at least 2 or 3 times now. I listened to it when I was editing, and it really got me locked in. But it's just it's when you like I want to see the behind the scenes and what practical effects what was practical effects, what was CGI, and if the budget is true, that this is impressive. Like there wasn't like a whole lot of like crazy practical effects going on, but I feel like what we seen was really effective. I get to more in spoilers, but uh and I really like the roles of the. This is like random out of nowhere, not dealing with the practical effects, but I really like the roles of the character. Like there's this skeptical. Is this a little spoilery? Not really, but there's this like skeptical character who's really like who tries to make sense of the paranormal stuff going on, and I feel like they were just a really fun addition. And then when shit like hit the fan, it was like, whoa, what the fuck? Um. Oh, actually, before I get into, because I was gonna start leaning into spoilers and get into that, but before I get into that, let me get into some of like the dislikes, or I have to do my rating too. I keep forgetting key things. I wish they did a bit more with the audience. Just with there was some cool like reactions and stuff that was going on, but I feel like I don't know. I just wish they were a bit more included with the shenanigans and stuff. And they are and they aren't, but I'll get to it in spoilers. Uh, this nitpicks a little bit more spoilery, but I guess I wish they got into more of the demon and its situation and whatnot. And if if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But I'll get to it in spoilers if you want to stick around and haven't seen the movie. Like I said, it was exposition heavy. This is not more of a like a problem, more like a nitpick. Exposition heavy, slow start, but when it gets going, it doesn't stop. So yeah, there's that. So I wish it was a bit longer, maybe to get into some of like the stuff I said, more of the demon stuff, and probably kind of further explain that. But yeah, let's see. Is that everything I want to say? Non-spoilery. I really like the visuals and stuff. Like the aesthetic and stuff was really cool. Um, hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, and with horror movies, I really like don't be pressed to go see them again. Like if it's like a horror movie, but I would honestly want to see this again. Whether that's why I go to the movies again to see this. If someone wanted to go see it again, yeah, I don't think I would like offer it to go like try to go see it with like a different group of people. But yeah, I would be definitely willing to see this again at some point, just to like I know what I'm getting going in. I feel like would be more. It would not be more enjoyable, but it would. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Let's see. Let's just get to the rating. I'm at like a 8.59 on this, to be honest. Like I said, I wish there was a little more explanation with the demon, and I wish the audience was like used a little bit more. And I'll get to that in spoilers what I mean by that. And I wish it was a bit longer. Uh, so I'm probably leaning into the 8.5 range, and the rewatch could honestly like sway either way, but probably at like an 8.5 right now. Yeah, yeah. Probably like 8.5, 8.5, 8.5er, 8.5er. Um, let's get into some spoilers though. Okay, so I really liked spoilers. I really liked the Grove cult stuff, and I guess, not I guess I that's like something real. And I honestly, so I did not like really expect that angle at all. So when they like when it was like a part of the starting the exposition, I was like, whoa, huh, that's interesting. And it's kind of eerie though that how this stuff happens. Like Ryan Garcia, like a boxer, like came out and he came out and was saying that this Grove, the cult stuff they were talking about, oh, this is like all real, and this has been like a crazy theory in I guess or conspiracy theory for a while, but like recently he came out and like said like all this stuff's real and whatever, and he said he got like strapped down and they made them like sexually assault a child or something, and they made him watch or some shit, and it's like okay, that man's obviously saying some crazy shit, but it's like when you think about it though, it's like obviously this person could easily just be off drugs, but it's like as a famous person, like why would you want to be painted as crazy if he's not off drugs, you know? And like if he is just like spouting nonsense, like why is he like pretending? I don't know. It's like why would you want to be looked? It's like bro, gotta be saying it for a reason, right? Like I don't know, bro. It's eerie. But I'm saying like and stuff happens like when just crazy shit in America's happening and like you get Alex Garland's like Civil War movie coming out and like End of the Fucking World, which I mentioned earlier with Mahershala Ali, and you get stuff like that. It's just like really eerie and like how stuff like comes up at certain times. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with anything. It could not. I don't know. I'm not here to speculate or put on my tinfoil hot hat, but it do be lining up kind of eerily sometimes. But yeah, I really like that angle though, and I liked how it wasn't just like a girl. Oh, like I got my axe for the night. Of the show for the night, and then this girl I just brought on happens to actually be possessed and like fucks up the show. Like the demon was, and this is what I mean. I wish we got a bit more explanation. We did a little bit, but he has a connection with this particular demon that's inhabiting this girl, and it's insinuated that not even insinuated, but that he sacrificed his wife to be famous, right? And so it's like because it made a point in the movie. It's like yeah, his wife got cancer and she did not smoke at all, so I was like okay, it's kind of weird. And then it's like insinuated that like that's because she made a sacrifice with or he made a deal with the devil or whatever. And so and the devil like brings up multiple times, and it's the stuff's happening because the devil's trying to like or this demon trying to reach out to or be like a conduit for his dead wife or something. Honestly, I wasn't too sure about that or in that aspect because when the first sidekick, which I really liked this guy a lot because it clearly showed that this guy was bullshitting. The first sidekick, and he was just grasping at straws. But then when some shit actually happens, like you see, like oh shit, like he's being like actually overwhelmed with some type of fucking spirit right now, and like his eyes roll back to the head, which was super super eerie, and then like he's like Minnie, like he's yelling out the name Minnie, and like you just think first like you think obviously something's going on here, but like no one claims to like know the name or whatever, and I think that's because David D's character, he's like he knows what deal he made, so it's just like does he know that like this spirit or but I don't know, it's like he knows like something's happening. Is that why he doesn't claim the name like at first, and like he later goes on to say that like that was like a pet name for uh his wife with him or whatever. And then it was like really interesting. I really liked the aspect of like how you know that guy was, bro, I'm talking about this fucking scary movie, bro, and I'm like seeing shadows move on my wall from like the trees outside. Just I'm getting creeped out. This is why I don't watch scary movies, bro. It's like you're purposely scaring yourself. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, it's like he was being like overwhelmed with the spirit and shit, start vomiting black bile and whatnot, and like he ended up dying from it like on the way to the hospital. And it's like kind of I really like it's like kind of it's like this skeptical like what is he, I don't know, fucking charlatan. This other skeptical charlatan is like he's not convinced that any of this shit's real. And so it's when he finds out that the guy died. He's just trying to make sense of it all. And then like when it doesn't make sense, he's like, oh, what the fuck? Like this shit's actually real. What the hell? And and I really like the and what I meant, and then what I mean by, and that's what I meant though. It's like I wish we just got more, just I guess connection and with like the demon and whatnot. And, like the I don't know, saw more and with like the deal he made and I don't know, just more and just like the connection, like how he because they said it's like it wasn't that was like a henchman or like that wasn't specifically like the demon they were praying to or whatever. So I don't know. It would have been cool to see that connection more. But then also with the audience though, I wish it was a bit more included. Like they had some cool like not reaction shots. It was like certain moments like their faces would like be darkened, like shrouded in darkness, and it's like it just added to the eeriness of the crowd and whatever. And they're like there's this big hypnosis moment that was really fun where the charlatan hypnosis guy, like he does this bit where when the first go around, it seems real. Like he makes this guy like rip open his own fucking guts, and there's worms coming out, and that was like I'm pretty sure a practical thing that looked really good. And a fucking giant worm was coming out of the guy's face and whatever, and so, but it was like a hypnosis trick, and he ended up mass hypnosing the whole audience or whatever, and he to prove his point, they're like okay, he's like play back the tape, and they play back the tape, and then from our when we see it the first time, we don't see any of this. Like he's telling the guy to freak out and there's worms in your body, and he's giving him the commands under while the guy's under hypnosis. And we didn't see that the first go around, and we saw that because it was the trick. He was like, okay, so if someone says like, all right, if you just proved like your shit was fake, so we should be able to, and it was a mass hypnosis, and that's what you said the girl did when she was possessed, and she was like fucking levitating and changing faces and whatnot. Like we should be able to see the same shit, right? And so they play back the tape, and they don't. She's actually like doing the shit, and then like a flash of his dead wife comes up on the screen or something like that. And it was just a really good moment. And what makes her wig out? I forgot, but I forgot how they got to this point, but at one point everything just loses control, and you're inside of David's mind, and he's reminiscing about his dead wife or whatever. I'm just trying to set up the scene to like where it gets to the ending, and because they make a point of like the waves of was it like a mass, I was gonna say hypnosis, like possession thing, because they make a point of like the energy waves and whatnot, and like the demon like gets connected to like the electricity and stuff, and like ends up like being overwhelmed with power and like splits the girl's head that she's possessing. This is like a lot from what I was just saying, but ends up like splitting the girl's head open from like power and the possession. Like there's this like electrical entity like in place of like the split head. It was really, I really like the ending, and like he ends up like killing the girl or whatever, but it's just like she ends up frying the charlatan skeptical guy and toasting him, and then she ends up twisting the guy who thought he had worms out coming out of his body, twists his head all around, and they make like something that's like his head's like twist around or something, and so I I had something to do with that. But I just really like how like it all like devolved into that, and I gotta say that's why I went on and watch it again, just like understand the ending a little bit more. But I like the way it headed and whatnot, and like how everything like he did end up having the highest rated show or the most views, but it's just like at what cost, like he just fucking murdered someone on live TV or whatever the case, and now he's looks, either if that shit showed up on camera, he either some crazy shit happened, regardless he murdered someone, or he just looked like he's going crazy, so regardless he's cooked. But you know and then like also, and then like when it like the broadcast cut, and then like was just static, and then you saw like the demon's face or whatever in the static, and then like did a little scream thing. So it was just like, well, what was that connection with all like the radio waves and the frequencies and whatnot? Like did that have something to do? Was it saying that? I don't know. I'll watch an ending explained or something, or just rewatch the movie. But Yeah, I really just like the ending and like how the design of the girl's head split open, how that looked, and just the sheer power of the demon itself, and just like how it was fucking just cooking people. Um, and I guess in that aspect, what happens to the crowd in that sense? Did they just all just run away? I don't know, but it's just like, yeah. Oh, it's the various acts. Were there any? Yeah, I don't even think there's some crazy acts, but yeah. Where what time we at? Because I want to get in my X-Men 97 first impressions if we had time, but I think that's really all I have to say. I really really enjoyed it though. Like I said, the AI stuff. If I would say this is a fun time to check out if you think the AI stuff is enough to hold you back. Again, I think it's a very bad practice, and I feel like this needs to open up the conversation to regulation for AI and stuff. But I don't think that it's a big enough thing to just not see this movie at all. I mean, that could just be me and just how I see the situation. I'm not saying in no way or form like it's an important situation to talk about for sure. But do what you want. I definitely would recommend seeing this movie, either going out to support it, or at least at the very least, sailing seven seas. Getting it that way. But do your Dougie, do whatever. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Really, really. Also, on the review side of things, what's coming up? It's a really packed couple weeks. Next week we have Godzilla X King Kong. So we got that review coming up. The week after that, we have Monkey Man with Dave Patel. I did not talk about the trailer on here, but yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that. So we have Monkey Man the week after that, and I think the week after that is Civil War, and then maybe we have a break, 1 or 2 week break, and then we have I'm gonna go see Challengers with my girl. She wants to see that, see that. And depending on how I like it, maybe I'll review it. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, pretty packed week with some reviews coming up, and that's not even mentioning. I think Invincible is gonna wrap up in that time frame. I don't think X-Men 97 will. I think there's maybe like 8 episodes, so I don't think that will wrap up in that time frame. So reviewing Invincible will come up. And anything else probably. I don't think there's any other shows to review on my radar per se, but we'll see. But yeah, it's a very expect some reviews coming on. Taking my PlayStation get fixed today. Hopefully today. So, we'll be getting back to some game reviews. I mean, didn't do it. I only started with Spider-Man and then did Suicide Squad and my fucking PlayStation broke. But, we'll get back into that and whatnot. Very excited about that. Let's just get into the weekly watch list before we close out the show with Pondering My Orb. There's a lot on the weekly watch list this week. What are we at? 217. Okay, I'm gonna save X-Men 97 for last, and we'll see if I have time to get into that. But speaking of X-Men stuff, though, rewatched X-Men First Class. I don't know, just didn't really have anything to watch. My girl just cut it on. We both really like that movie. Probably my favorite X-Men movie. I think Logan's probably my favorite like movie in that realm, Fox X-Men mutant realm. But like X-Men actually with the team, I think First Class is my favorite. Yeah, that movie is really good. I love all the Magneto stuff. Like when he's, I think First Class spawned from the idea of Magneto going around just hunting Nazis, which would have been a cool movie in itself. But it turned into like X-Men First Class, and there's like just a little scene of him hunting some Nazis that's really really fucking good. This the usage of powers, and I really love his usage of powers in that. Yeah. I was watching a little bit of Quiet on Set. That was this documentary about Nickelodeon and the gross things that was happening behind the scenes with the kids and them getting sexually assaulted and whatnot. But bro, so I guess it's on HBO Max, and I was like, I think HBO Max is like $10 with ads, and I was on Amazon, and it was like gave me the choice to buy the season for $10. So I was like, okay, I'll just do that. Like I could have just went on HBO Max, but I was like, I don't feel like making the effort to cancel my subscription, so I'll just buy the season here. But bro, I bought it on fucking Prime, And there's only like three episodes, and then it was like, we'll email you when the rest of the episodes become available. Boy, what the fuck? Like, what did I just pay for? Like, come on, bro. You're playing with my bucks, bro. So that was really annoying. And I didn't feel like paying another $10 to finish it on HBO Max. So I guess I'll just wait for them to fucking email me, I guess. Like, they didn't even give me like a time frame when their fucking episodes are dropped. Like, what's going on? So I'm never doing that again. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't finish it, but I got through the first like 2 episodes, and yeah, Dan Snyder's a sick fuck. I also watched The Blackening. It's this like parody comedy or parody comedy horror movie. It was really good. It's like a lot of black inside jokes and whatnot. It's really enjoyable movie. If you aren't black, it doesn't take itself too serious. I think it's fun. It's pretty funny. But you'll get the most out of it if you are black and you understand, the jokes, most of the jokes they're making and whatnot. New episode of Invincible, fire as usual. We left off of a cliffhanger a fucking triple cliffhanger last episode. So this was just wrapping that stuff up. So that was enjoyable. Like I said, I'll review the show when it finishes up. And then I've just been reading more Nova comics. I'm really, the character's fine. Definitely hope he grows and whatnot and matures, but typical angsty teens, hard-headed shit, I guess. But I like the adventures that he's going on so far. Nothing like that's blowing me out of the water or anything, but I'm enjoying it for the most part. So probably, and then speaking still on comic book stuff, I started reading Power Rangers. Who is it by? I forget. Let me look it up. But it has this artist working on the stuff that it's Dan Mora, I believe. That he's had some I think he's drawing DC's World's Finest, a story with Batman and Superman right now, and his art's just really good. That's what put it on the radar for me. Let's see. Fuck me, brother. Hold on. Let me see who's writing this. Written by Ryan Parrott, illustrated by Dan Mora. Yeah, so it's just Power Rangers, Go Power Rangers, Saban's, Boom Studios. Okay. That's the name I was looking for, Boom Studios. And so I got a reading list on Twitter from Neb. This is comic book Twitter user. Let me find the list though. I'll retweet the list on. Let's utilize my what's it called? My what's it called? My Twitter account for this podcast. So I'll retweet it. I'll retweet it on my podcast Twitter. So what did I miss podcast? Link will be below. But yeah, I'll retweet it on that. It's basically just a reading list for the comics, and there's just some really good artwork. That's what made me interested in it, and it seemed this person Neb reads a lot of comics. I'm not gonna say like our taste. I don't fucking know this person. But the stuff they talk about, like, usually talk about stuff that I'm interested in, and they mentioned that there's like an Infinity War style event in these comics, and he said it was one of his favorite events. So, I'm not authority. I'm gonna check it out. See what's popping on. I'm like trying to like work through my brain what I'm trying to do on Twitter right now, and I was going to retweet that tweet on my account. So if you want that reading guide, go check that out. Go check that tweet out on my account. I was talking about, all right, let's just stay on this. I'll come back to this in a second. I was playing last weekend or the weekend before or something. I was like, oh shit, my PlayStation's broke. Maybe I'll just play my PlayStation 2. And then I pull it out and I don't have a controller. Where's that at? It's at my brother's house, who lives fucking like 30, 40 minutes away. So I was like, God damn. And then I was over there like a weekend last weekend and the weekend before, and I got my controller back. So I was playing some PS2 games. Actually, let me grab them. I honestly just went through my whole, like, I don't have a bunch, but, just went through them, played 30 minutes to an hour of each. But then this particular one is what I stuck to playing the most. But let me grab the stack. So I was playing the Ang Lee Hulk movie tie-in game. It's like a continuation of the movie. I was doing the mission, sneaking around as Bruce Banner. Was fighting as the Hulk. It was super, bro. Games back then, bro. There's a lot of fucking. You can say that now too, but there's just a lot of stinkers, bro. The mission structure is just boring as shit. So I put that down because it's boring as shit. The Hulk gameplay was super lackluster. Then I was playing Transformers, the Michael Bay tie-in game. I had fond memories of this as a kid. Just driving around transforming as fucking an Autobot. That was fucking cool. And then flying around as a Decepticon, Starscream transforming. That was cool as shit. Playing as Barricade, Bumblebee. That's all cool, like jazz. But the mixing structure is boring as shit. So put that down. And then I was playing Spider-Man 3. Movie tie-in game. There's a lot of movie tie-in games I've been playing. There's a lot of movie tie-in games back then. They don't really do them anymore. I know why, and I don't feel like getting into why. Maybe I'll get into that one day. But I mean, it's not like some fucking big conspiracy secret reason. But anyways, I was playing that. The web swinging shit's fine. This was like, did Spider-Man 2 have it? But this was like maybe the start of. I just got a weird ass message. The Arkham style combat. I really like the combat in this though. I feel like just for what it is, it's actually pretty solid. It's pretty in depth, honestly. Not like too crazy, but there's a little something to it besides just pressing square. So I was enjoying that. I'll probably, if out of the games I'm talking about, I'll probably like go back and beat that. Beat that one. I haven't gotten the black suit. I just was chasing the lizard. Did I fight him? No, I chased him to the sewer, and I didn't start the mission to go in the sewer and fight him. And then I was playing Batman Vengeance. It's a tie-in game to the animated series, or I don't know if it's a continuation. But yeah, I didn't get very far in this. It was super clunky, and yeah, I didn't get very far. It's whatever. Ratchet and Clank up your arsenal. I did not touch this time around, and then Superman Shadow of Apocalypse. Love both these games. I just didn't touch them on this time around. Did not touch Tony Hawk Underground. Let's just get to, I guess, the one that I was playing the most. So I was playing X-Men Legends. This is like an X-Men RPG. Like you're going around the X-Mansion and shit and stuff like that. Playing as, it's basically Ultimate Alliance, but the X-Men games. It's pretty. X-Men Legends was pretty popular, but I just been really enjoying that. Just building up my fucking X-Men team. Getting busy with fucking doing combo moves and stuff. I'm still super early in the beginning right now. I'm just walking Wolverine, Cyclops, Iceman, in Storm. I'm really liking Wolverine's. He's like my go-to, bro. But I'm liking Cyclops a lot. Let's see. What time are we at? 29. Fuck. Last thing, and I said I was gonna give my X-Men 97 initial thoughts if I had time. I don't really have time. I'm not trying to make the show hella long, but first off, just real quick, it's so fucking fire. I'm just gonna be, I'll make sure to take notes and shit of what the thoughts I had now, so I could say it when the review drops. But bro, this is some fucking gas, bro. The animation, the storytelling, fucking music, everything's so gas, bro. I'm loving the fights and the choreography. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, because I'm about to try to end the show here soon. 2 hours, 2:30. It's pretty decent. But also all 8 live action Spider-Man movies are re-releasing, so I'll be trying to see all of those. So I'll be talking about those. That's interesting. And they're all releasing on a Monday, bro. Who decided that? Why are they all releasing on Mondays? Like not even a Sunday, like a Monday, bro. Like come on, bro. That's idiotic. Okay, so this is from this thing called Three Bodies. Hideo Kojima recommended, or he was talking about it on Twitter. So I wanted to see what it is. It's a Netflix thing, I think. Hold on. I don't know if it's a Netflix thing, but I guess it's an adaptation of something. But it's sci-fi and an alien invasion. I don't really have time to, because I didn't. His post is long as shit. I didn't read it, and I don't really feel like getting into it now. But that's something I'm really looking into. But yeah, that's it for the weekly watch list. And as we get into the end of the show, into Pondering My Orb, in this section of the show, I just go and just reflect on things I need to work on during the week, and hopefully during this time of my reflection, it makes you reflect too, and maybe pick out some nuggets of shit that you could apply to your own life and whatnot. And basically a collective let's get to it, But yeah, last week I was just talking about putting in that extra effort to just you really separate yourself from the herd, and just putting in that extra time, and that's it's what we're on still. Like it wasn't really I didn't really like think about pondering my orb type shit this week. I'm not gonna lie, but I just kind of been on just back to a couple weeks back when I brought up just building up yourself. Like I have this ideal version of who I want to be, and I know I can get there, but just like trying to do all the things to be that person at one time is really overwhelming, and it ends up just backfiring and just me starting at square one again. So it's like I've been really trying to focus on one thing, and the one thing I've been focused on, I've actually been pretty good at, is just moving with a sense of urgency and just moving and just maximizing like your time and just bro, just move like you got shit to do, bro. Move like you have a purpose, and just like just and it's kind of an exhausting mindset, and it's fun because it's really learning yourself and myself, like learning myself, and it's important to know yourself because you got to know your ticks, you got to know your flaws, you got to know your shortcomings, you got to know what you're great at and all the shit. So it's like what's it called, recognize in this situation, recognizing when it's time to be on that sense of urgency, go or on that mindset, and go mindset, maximizing your time is and then you got to recognize when it's time to pull back from that, not completely abandon it, but just to give your mind a break, and so it's not constantly turning wheels, and you're mentally exhausted, you don't know why you're fucking just don't want to do anything. It's like, find out, recognize when it's time to pull back from that, when it's time to relax. But it's a process, because you gotta at least for me, it's just, I guess, explaining my situation really quick. Like YouTube and stuff and all this stuff, this is a hobby right now. Like I'm not making any money off this. Like I basically work like 2 jobs right now. I just work like at a warehouse, and then after work I just do Uber Eats. And so, when I'm done with like that stuff, like I don't have a ton of time. Like if I go hang out with my girl, like I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Like I'm hanging out with her. And so the time I have is when I wake up really early in the morning, knock some stuff out, knock some stuff out on my lunch break, and then if I can, like I'll stay up after she goes to sleep. And considering like getting up at like 5 in the morning, and then she goes to sleep like at 10:30, 11, and then doing stuff till like 12. Like I've been up since 5, so it's like it's really hard to like get in that fourth quarter, type of balling in type shit. So it's just like you gotta maximize your time. And I don't do Uber every day, but the days I'm not doing, it's like I'm usually like doing some family stuff, like hanging out with my little brothers or something, or it's just, bro, it's just like this shit. If it's important to me, like I'm gonna figure a way out to achieve it. And yeah, I feel like I've been on that this week, and I did, not gonna lie, some shit did happen Saturday, and I did kind of like lose focus a little bit. So it's just like, damn, kind of feel bad about that, but it's just like, bro, let's get back to it, bro. It's no thing but a chicken wing. You feel me? What was I gonna say though about something? I was gonna say something about something. Um. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I've been focusing on my YouTube shorts. Not like focusing, but been making YouTube shorts out of this show. With clips and stuff, and and that's been really helping promotion. I hit 200 subs on my main YouTube channel. Woo! Yay! Good job, Dennis. Yeah. Great. So that's cool. One step towards getting monetized, and gotta get 500 subs, and so just gotta stay on the YouTube shorts and the promotion side of things. But yeah, that's it for this week. Don't forget to check out my Twitter for this podcast at What Did I Miss Podcast. Links will be below. The app for it is DSU Smooth YT, because it was a YouTube, it was a Twitter for my YouTube, but I changed it. But anyways, got to change the app still. But links will be below, so don't worry about that. Once I get more people following it and more people interacting, I'll post like polls and stuff if there's like a multiple movies coming out and I don't know what to review, I'll throw up a poll on there, maybe YouTube. See what way I should lean towards that way, or if there's a topic, if it's a topic week, vote on the topic of the week. Stuff like that. Maybe I'll put out something like, "Oh, I'm going to go see this movie. How do you feel about it?" Maybe read some reviews out after talking about the movie, like they do on the Weekly Planet, something like that. Just I don't know. Just go check that out. Gonna be more active on there and try to post more on there, but no one's really there yet. So it's like, yeah, but yeah, and then go follow my main Twitter at DS2Smooth. Links will be below, and that's what I'm most active. The social media I'm most active on. You can follow me on Instagram too at DS2Smooth. I'm gonna get more active on there. I just honestly ducked off from the world for a little bit. Got to get my shit together. But I do plan to post more on there because I do like getting fly and shit. So gotta go post on there. But I don't know. Instagram to me, it just kind of is like I'm posting to be seen, and I don't really care to be seen. So it's like, then why am I posting? I don't know. But I do like getting fly though. So there's that. But it's just like, yeah, I don't feel like getting into it. What was I saying? Oh, follow my TikToks. Follow my TikToks. I've been got some clips going up there. DS2 Smooth YT and What Did I Miss podcast links will be below. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Like I said, we got Godzilla X Kong next week, which honestly I'm super excited for that, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it for this week. I'll catch you guys next week. Twos.